Hello and welcome. I am the last HP hero, and you have found your way to TPK Roleplay. We are so very glad you're here and hope you enjoy your stay. Over the course of the next couple months, we are going to be working our way through the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure module Curse of Strahd. Heroes think that they offer a gift to the oppressed. Hope. Hope is empty without action. Hope is meaningless without follow through. Hope is words devoid of sincerity, lest they move. First and foremost, no attempt to make the story child appropriate have occurred. While necessary changes to problematic material have been made, this is still a dark and stormy gothic horror story. Throughout this live actual play podcast, you will hear some light gore, some violence, adult language, scary images. The clowns are behind them, so that's good, but who knows what they might find in the dark of Barovia. Our players are here to bring the light. Safety tools are in place for the players, but you, as a viewer, do not have such a luxury. So if you have any sensitivities to the listed topics, please keep a teleportation spell prepped and ready. But barring that ready to action, keep all heads, hands, paws, and claws inside the stream at all times. Slap that follow button to join the wonderful world of TPK roleplay games. Click the Discord link that I am certain will spontaneously appear in chat really at any moment to be part of the growing TPK community. And above all else, be good. That's the rule. Be good. Secondeth, with no other announcements in mind, you may not know these amazing players. So let's change that. Oh, wait, I do have an announcement. It is a thank you. It is an extra special thank you to Dragna Carta and Mandy Mod over on the Reddit boards. Their tireless work to work over the raw of Curse of Strahd is going to have a pretty big impact this session. So thank you to them for their hard work and everything that they've done to make Curse of Strahd an already amazing module all the more fun. But we are here to talk about our players. So, everyone here will say hello, introduce themselves and the character they play, plug other shows or projects they're participating in, games they play, and do you think your character will look at Barovia differently without having as many NPCs following along behind? That's the question. Something to consider, and an appropriate delay for the first person on our introductory list. I would like to start by introducing you to a beacon of chaotic joy who cut their dungeon master teeth with a fabulous lasers and feelings adventure to raise more than $300 for Jasper's game day just this past Saturday. It is Nipper Niff.
Hi, yes, that's me. I did GM for the first time in public on Saturday. It was the coolest. Yeah, I'm Niffer Niff, and I am playing Bright, the Tiefling Genasi Artificer, and I also work on the Not Quite Heroes podcast, and I'm on a couple other shows here, so you can find me in Tyranny of Dragons and in Rime of the Frost Maiden on Thursdays and Fridays. So like, tomorrow and the next day. And yeah, I don't know how I view Barovia with less NPCs and children. Probably just as a, well, cool, there's more room for new NPCs and children for us to pick up, I guess. Right? Yeah, that's fine. We can get more. It's fine. This is fine.
Sounds like a plan. More rooms in the party, I guess. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Next on the list of people to know is a man who shows time and again that pursuing passion is a path to power, and there are a few people I know with more power than this content creator, truth throw downer, and all around wonderful human being. It's Noir Enigma.
Hello, I'm Noir. I'll be playing Uther today. A very upset Goliath. Normally, you can find me on Sundays GMing for Cobalt Presses, Into the Southland. They just completed their Southlands Kickstarter, and they're trusting me to run the campaign based on it. So that's fun.
Woo!
Also, you can find me over on Critical Misses, where I GM a mass games for Magpie called Second City Saviors. And then tomorrow is going to be the mini campaign finale of Lonely Thrones. And I've already announced that we're making that a full-on campaign. And you'll get more details on that later. But that's me. And does he his perspective on Barovia now is just that everything is killable and or burnable. Like he's just going to cut his way to Strahd. That's his goal.
Sounds like a plan. We shall see how that plays out for Uther. Continuing around the top, another wonderful person to know in the world of TTRPGs and gaming in general. Someone who does not fail to make me smile, and I am proud to know. Someone with a sensitivity to the voices of others and a powerful voice all their own. It's Corndog McGraw.
Oh, thanks. That was very nice. Hi, everyone. It's me, Corndog. I am playing Ficus Fig, the halfling fighter rogue tonight. You can also catch me here on Thursdays. And then eventually in the future, in a Sherlock adventure. We'll see how that goes, but check out those Sherlock investigation episodes to see a bunch of cool people do a bunch of weird shit. And Ficus Fig would definitely... I think she's definitely in her mind of like, okay, now it's go time. Like from here on out, it's much more linear than it was before. So I think her and I are both sharing that same mindset where we're like, now we kind of have a plan. Let's start going. We have direction. And I think like, it's not so much the lack of NPCs, it's the NPCs who just helped us recently that has like really changed her mind on like what they're doing here in Barovia. So, yeah.
Fabulous, wonderful, amazing. Continuing around in the bottom right corner of your screen and fourth in our introductions is a gamer who has shown me that discipline is a skill which can be finely tuned, even though it requires constant attention. A wise man in life and games, the kind of person you want to have as a friend. It's 1 in 20 D&D.
Well, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Gregory. You can find me on YouTube at 1 in 20 D&D. Otherwise, I do all kinds of fun stuff with the Dice Tyrants. Tomorrow night, we are getting very close. I think there's only 2 sessions left in this season of the Adrian Steamworks game Clockwork Zephyr, which is a really cool steampunk magic game. It's really amazing. So yeah, if you have a minute, come by tomorrow night. So I'm playing this evening, of course, Leaf in the Sunlight of Summer. Leaf is a Tabaxi ranger and is probably along the same line with Ficus, feeling like then there's more focus, which is really fantastic. Although I think that if anything, he's feeling more of a sense of, I don't know if responsibility is the right word, but probably purpose because of all the kids. Like knowing that we just saved just a few, and knowing that there's probably a whole lot more, and not just kids but adults as well in this realm that are like suffering under the tyranny of this dark lord. He's kind of like, oh, there's so much that needs to be corrected here, and so he's glad to be about that.
Fabulous, fabulous, wonderful. And last in our introductions is a Browns fan. There is no greater testimony to a person's quality of character than a willingness to stand behind a team like the Cleveland Browns, ever hoping for fantasy to become reality. Eyes locked on to the unwinnable prize.
God
Heart
damn.
placed in the hands of those who will drop it as often as they drop the ball.
Oh my god.
May he always be
Jesus
blessed
Christ.
with
This is how
the
you know we're
feelings
all
which
friends here.
overpowered him during the first quarter of last week's fateful game. And may our hearts be with him as they face the game to come.
Way to get dunked on.
It's robotic gentleman.
I'm going to invite you to Cleveland the first chance I get, and I'm going to play that in front of all my friends.
Bro, are you okay? Like,
Is
we just had our
Cleveland
first
okay?
we just had our first character death right there.
I feel like I should give you one of those little silver blankets that got an ambulance.
I lost my whole train of thought on that one. But
We love you.
it's all right. I love you guys too. That's why he gets away with it. I'm robotic. I'm not playing any other game currently right now. This is my only one. I would say that Sol in particular, I don't think Sol would have seen as much of Barivia as he had if it wasn't through those kids, because it was through the kids and everyone else we met along the way that we had to go to half the places that we went. I mean, how would the hag fight, for example, have been if we even bothered to go there? We probably would just, bypass it altogether if it wasn't the same, if it wasn't even, the look for our boy. So I think, we probably would have just seen a lot less of the place. It just pretty well have been like everyone's a monster unless they're in town. So, yeah.
An optimistic view of Barovia. Town being safe? We'll have to see. Those are our introductions. These are wonderful players. I am once again the last hit point hero, and we have a fabulous summary of last session being prepped before our very eyes and ready.
It's true. I'm so glad
Any
somebody
moment.
clipped that. I'm so sorry, Rob. I'm not even a sports fan, and I understood that. So, anyways, now to Barovia, where we are gonna do fine, right? Yep, this is fine. So, the party has been halved, basically, since leaving behind enough children to fill an orphanage. After their hard work dismantling another creepy cult, the group searched for a new goal in their plan to rescue the land from the influence of the Dark Lord Strahd. Bright tinkered a new boost to Sol's holy weapon, and they all set off to the Wizards of Wine, which might host a group with information that could help them. On their way, they encountered a mysterious dusk elf figure that tried to stop them. Uther, still not speaking since leaving his baby son, quickly dispatched the figure. Leaf's new bow proved to be very epic and awesome and cool and cinematic as all get out. And our dear, dear Ficus unfortunately went unconscious yet again, which I think makes a an unconscious count of like 4 or 5? 5. Yeah. But it's fine. She's up again and moving, and we are all very safe and aware and good. And we're not going to get hurt, right? Okay, cool.
Wonderful. Thank you,
Okay.
as always, for the summary. And, we'll see if anyone gets hurt anymore.
Please don't.
We left off with our party at yet another crossroads. Settling down for the evening, knowing that they still have 6 hours of travel before them, the party decided to pause and wait. Their recent combat with the demons and this strange figure on horseback led to some interesting discoveries. Uther picked up a sword that he carried along. And as you have grown quiet, and Uther, as you sit against your greatsword, this buzzing sound that you've heard since you picked up the sword is just a little clearer in the calm. And if you listen closer, you can just pick up the sounds of thousands of people screaming as though far away. Something that's been in the periphery since you touched the sword. The rest of you settle down for camp, and is there anything that anyone would like to do before passing into the evening?
Where
not,
are
that's
we
fine.
camping?
You set up camp at the crossroads. There is a bridge leading to the north, and then Bright knows that the Wizard of Wines is about 6 hours walk to the west.
Okay.
Ficus would take some time to sit with Sol and teach Sol about druid craft. Just because Sol got a little magic from last session, so Ficus would want to sit and be like, "This is how you do things in nature." Oh.
And after a little bit, Sol gets to understand it a little bit more, but you feel the powers begin to fade just as you're starting to understand. If there's nothing in particular. All right. The typical Sol on overnight guard duty while everyone else sleeps. Sounds good.
Do we want to do like 2-hour shifts with Sol again? Just in case.
Okay.
For sure.
So who is up first with Sol?
I can stay up first and tend to my wounds.
So Ficus and Sol, as you settle in for the first part of the evening, the quiet beginnings, you start to see that your party members have returned to restless sleep. Even Uther, in his stoic behavior through the day, is almost more active at night than before. Bright and Leaf as well clutch at their bedrolls, roll back and forth. There's whimpering, even cries, tears that fall. If one of you two could roll a d20 for me, I would appreciate it.
Go ahead, Sol.
All right. You said a 20?
Yes, please.
16.
That would be doing it. So, as the two of you sit on duty, Sol stoic and still as a statue, and Ficus tending to her various wounds, about an hour into the night, not too long after the weak sun of Barovia has set behind the already dark skies and clouds, the mists begin to rise. The weak starlight, the moon peeking every once in a while behind a stray cloud. And an hour and 15, hour and a half minutes into the shift, you start hearing the shuffling of feet coming from the bridge to your north.
Do I need to roll a perception?
Sure, go ahead.
All right.
Do you want one from me as well?
Go ahead. The two of you gaze into the darkness, and Ficus, you can't make out much of anything except for maybe a half dozen figures coming your way. But Sol, you get a better look. And crossing the bridge are about 6 figures in dirty brown cloaks. Some of them are limping. Some are hunched over partially. All of them carrying large burlap bags. And they just seem to be moving together, slowly looking around as they travel.
Hey, what did I tell you? We have more space for NPCs now.
Oh, just pick up the first ones that walk by, huh?
It's free real estate, man. It's free NPCs, man.
Like I'm collecting like Pokemon, I see.
Yeah.
What if we just
Are
let
quiet.
them walk by? Like, we stay ready, but we let our friends sleep and we try to just let them walk by or try to go unnoticed?
I'm pretty sure we're not in the tree, right?
Yeah, how did we like even try to conceal ourselves, or are we just like right here on the path?
So
We're off to the side.
Uther more or less shoved his sword next to the road and laid down against his sword,
That is true.
So I'm
I
sure
do remember
everyone
that from
is-
the end of last session.
close to the road.
All right. Well, I guess I'll stand close to Uther, ready action defensively, but actually I'll call out to them. Hail, are you walking? What business do you have on this road?
The three of the figures look up your direction, and one of them scuttles a little bit closer and turns its face up. Its hood is a deep hood covering almost the entirety, but you can see the nose and the mouth. And what you see is part of the nose is missing. And there's a scar running down the face, across the nose, and across the lips. And there's stitching that looks
I don't
old
want this one.
across the scar.
Greetings, travelers.
Looks past you at the ones on the ground.
Ficus will kick Leaf awake, because that's who she's probably standing next to.
Are any still living or have any passed?
Bring out your dead.
My companions with me are all living, I assure you. Is that what you carry on your back?
We seek to clean the roads of those that didn't make it to their destinations.
Oh, there's like plenty back there. Ficus will just like gesture down the road.
Oh, wonderful. From Valaki?
Leaf will
From-
shake Uther awake.
From the trees?
Trees. The fruits of Barovian trees can be bitter.
Uther's just gonna stand up and pull the sword out of the ground and look at these guys.
I can see how there are dead in your wake. A group of you seem quite healthy. We'll be around. If you find any who fall, we'll clean the path.
And
Sleep
hope,
well.
and may our paths never cross again.
We shall see.
The other 5 follow along behind, some limping, one heavily limping, one bent over. And they move past your camp and continue into the mists to the east.
Oh, while I'm awake, I'm just gonna take a look at the scimitar, see if I notice anything different about it or if the screaming gets quieter.
The screaming does not get quieter now that you've spent some time with it. In fact, you're more aware of the screaming to a degree, and you feel that if you push it just a little harder, you could bring that scream from the back to the forefront. I think in our
Nor I
that-
know this is your aesthetic, but don't give in. Don't do it.
so
Just put,
you
Come on.
if you would like, you can attune to this through the evening.
yeah, he's gonna do that.
Okay, sounds good.
I would be
Anything else while everyone but Bright's awake?
That was interesting.
That was
where,
Niffer saying and not Bright, okay?
where did they come from anyway?
We dealt with them when they came across the bridge. You know, was that ahead of us or behind us? I'm sorry.
Ahead
to
of
the
you.
north of us? Ahead of us?
Yes. Yep. You know that's the path to Kresk.
Why is everyone in this country so charming?
Man,
Well,
that
I'm
job
going
would
back
suck.
to sleep. If there's any trouble, let me know.
Will do.
The rest of your watch passes without much comment, other than even though you don't hold the sword, just being near to Uther, Now you hear that scream a little bit louder. Not enough to be distracting. Not enough even to cut through what your mind filters out when it gets used to things. Just enough to hear, if you listen, the voices of thousands. The watch passes. Who's next?
Sure. Leaf will go.
Okay. Leaf, you wake up, join Sol at the road, and I need a... No, I don't need a roll now. The 2 hours is uneventful. You don't see the group come back that direction. Anything while you're awake?
Nothing. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that Leaf and Soul have sort of conversation, but it's probably just nothing tremendously
consequential.
important. Just friendly conversation through their watch.
Yeah.
Assuming that doesn't disturb Soul.
No, he's cool. That doesn't bother his stance. I mean, his rest. So, yeah.
You, Leaf, you see again that everyone is sleeping fitfully. More specifically, Bright. She begins to whimper in her sleep. And Bright, for you, a dream comes. You find yourself wandering the path back to the Zare pool. And scattered along the road are the cards of your grandmother. The fortune-telling Treoka deck that you saw was so many times growing up. As you grow closer, you round a bend, and you see the caravans of your people ablaze. As you run to get nearer, you begin to see the members of your family along the road. One after the other. All cut down from behind as they fled something. You get closer and see your mother and father back to back on the ground. You see your grandmother's tent broken, the sides of it slashed, and unable to stop yourself from checking. You move into her tent. She is there. Her star-speckled eyes open, but even more unseeing than before. On her table in front of her is a single card. The card that was given to you when you were with Irina during the fortune telling. The 3 of coins. You hear a noise and turn. See a figure fall in the shadows cast by a burning caravan. It's tranquil. As you run forward and turn him over, he looks up at you
Oh no.
and says but one thing. Why? And your dream ends. The rest of the watch is uneventful. Bright awakens.
I'm going to dig through my bags and I am going to pull a rock out of the ground where we are sleeping and start carving on it and use my magical tinkering to make it release a nonverbal sound of the lullabies that my mom and my grandma and my uncle used to sing to me, and I'm going to use it to lull myself back to sleep.
Okay. Leaf, as your watch with Sol ends, you see Bright moving frantically, making a carving.
Fussing and cradling this rock and just curling my body around it and rocking back and forth until I fall back to sleep.
You're watching.
He's gonna leave. Yeah, give her space. So let her fall back to sleep, and then probably wake up Uther.
He just looks at you.
Your turn for watch. Do me a favor and keep an eye on Bright. You too, Solaire.
Oh, nuts.
Uther's gonna get up and sit next to Sol. And the whole time he's just kind of fixated on this blade, just looking at it.
Sol, as Uther sits next to you, you can hear just quietly in the background what at first you didn't recognize, but as the evening settles and grows silent, you begin to hear the screams as well, as though thousands are screaming far away.
Well, Sol's gonna eventually ask Uther. That wasn't magic from his minion, but actually from that sword. Do you plan on keeping that, Uther?
Yes.
And what manner of magic is it? Is it just an illusion, or is it something much worse?
I'm going to name it grief.
Is grief something you really want to carry on the rest of this journey?
It may as well cut my foes the way it cuts me, so.
So I have nothing to respond to that one, so. Well, my friend, regardless if you carry grief, literally or otherwise, you still have us beside you.
He's gonna get up and walk directly in front of Sol and stab grief into the ground. Do what you need to make sure it won't hurt the ones here. And then he just walks over to Bright.
Sol will reach out and take the sword. Can I learn anything from it or anything about it? Wait, I have a magic skill for it.
Not particularly. It's not unusual for swords to have magical properties. I mean, they're talked about all over. You wouldn't necessarily have any reason to know why this one would
Scream at us?
scream at you.
This is the best. All right. Guess I'll just study it for the rest of the evening along with my rest.
Okay.
Uther is going to pull up the blankets on Bright and just kind of give a pat. And then, not sure that it'll work, he will cast Bless to see if that helps the party get to sleep.
Yep. You cast the spell. And as I would think that Uther's Bless is a chiller feeling than something warm, but you tell me.
I would describe it as that moment where you realize there's nothing you can do and you kind of come to peace with everything.
Acceptance of the inevitable settles over everyone.
It's just like you could be scared of a nightmare, but I mean, after the nightmare gets you and you die, that's it. So
I'm very glad I'm not trying to sleep anymore, and it's my turn for watch now.
Before that watch ends, about an hour and a half into the watch, you hear footsteps shuffling back up the path from the west.
The moment I hear that, I'm going to look to Sol and go, "Can I carry my grief?"
I'll hand him back his sword.
Then I'm going to make my way towards wherever that sound's coming from. Because I need murder. Father, I crave violence.
It's not long before the same group of 6 come into view. Limping, some bent. They make their way by, and the leader stops at you, Uther, looks up at you. And as they look up, their hood falls back some, and you see the scar that cuts across their face and nose meets another and surrounds their eye. And you can see just barely in the dark different tones to the skin that makes up their face. Look at you and say, point over at the others on the ground.
Do all of those still live?
Just glaring at him.
With the 2 of you as protectors, I suppose so. If that changes, we'll be by. Good eve.
So you say I hear a scream in the back of my mind, and I can
Yes.
push it forward.
And, yes.
Let's test that.
Okay.
So I need
This is a
you
day.
to go ahead and make a, let's see what I wrote it down as.
Look, I know people scoping out other people for skin. Don't ask why I know that, but look. I don't like it.
Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Sorry
you
about
hold-
that.
You hold this sword and you start to focus on the screams in the back of your mind, and something within you calls to them, and the screams grow louder. Now the rest of you, as long as you're far enough away, more than 10 feet away, you don't hear anything different. But for you, Uther, and for this creature in front of you, the screams are head-splitting. It doesn't hurt you as much as you would think, but it does still hurt. Roll 3d10.
Okie dokie. 11.
Okay, so you take 6 psychic damage as this scream pushes into being. And even though Uther was on watch, I didn't have this pulled up for some silly reason.
Because who knew that Uther instigate combat.
I'm not instigating anything.
You're not
I'm
instigating
just
anything.
giving it to my grief. I'm gonna have fun with this sword name.
You are ridiculous.
So as the scream pushes forward, this figure in front of you just pulls the head back and puts both hands over its ears. And when it does, you see that the hands are stitched. The face is completely stitched. The head is patches of hair of different colors, if there's hair at all. And just and stumbles back away from you.
I'm just gonna take one step forward and go, is something the matter?
As I see this man yell, I'm walking up to see what Uther did.
As you walk up, just as you get within about 10 feet, you can hear the echoes of the screams fading. And the other 5 figures turn to look at this one that yelled, and he stumbles back and goes,
No wonder you left so much good behind. We'll follow and watch. You have prizes to share.
Don't follow too closely.
the group of them scamper off. And you can see that some of their bags are heavier than when they first passed by.
I don't know whether to be impressed or terrified that you already figured out how to use that sword.
We relate to each other. He just goes back to bed.
Everyone is resting fitfully. But while this plays out, the two of you are too preoccupied to notice. Leaf in particular begins clawing at his own shoulders in his sleep.
Oh, did the bless not help?
Not enough to get rid
Damn.
of the dreams, no.
I did
This
what I could,
lasts
y'all.
for 1 minute, my dude.
You know what? I take it back. You're just going full aggro Uther this episode now. It's your fault.
I'm sorry.
Leaf, you are taken back to your youth. Half-remembered memories. Mostly forgotten, almost dreamlike. For you, it's a single feeling. The feeling of being left behind. Of being unwanted. Of being cast aside. The feeling that overpowered you before you were found by the rangers who raised you. You are a child again. Lost within themselves. Quite literally lost in the woods. Every sound, a reminder that there is no one there to help you. There is no hand for you to hold. There is no shoulder to cry into. There are no legs to bury your heads in as you cry. Just before you remember being found, it loops, and you're left alone again. Cast aside again. Forgotten again. Unwanted again. The outsider. The different one. The abandoned. And the dream fades.
Is he still awake? I mean, asleep?
That's up to you.
I don't imagine that would wake him up, I think he would just still be in a fitful energy, sleeping.
Sure. The 2 hours pass. And Uther, it's time for you to return to bed.
Is it my
Cool.
turn?
Just head off.
Bright has the last watch.
I would like to sneak over to where Ficus is sleeping and kind of reach into the boot that she's taken off for the night and pull out our last blank black leather bound book.
Sure.
And I'm going to walk over to where Sol is, and I'm just going to sit next to him without really saying a word, and I'm going to start cutting the pages out and cutting them down and starting to, going off of what I remember of my grandma's cards, make my own Taroka deck.
Okay.
And I'm going to draw as much as I can. It's probably not very good, but I know what the cards mean, and I'm just going to do what I can with it.
Okay. So you begin work on a Taroka deck of your own. The 2 hours before the sun rises are uneventful, quiet. But Sol, something is bothering you. Typically during watch, you're immobile, staring off into space, alert but not really searching. But you see something in the periphery of your vision. Just enough to catch your attention. And your head turns. But before you can make it out, it's gone.
You're muted, my dude.
Can I actively search for it or?
Sure, go ahead and make a perception check.
All right, 20. No, just one.
You look around,
Oh yeah, I don't see nothing.
don't see anything unusual. And after a few seconds of looking, you return to your statue-like state. But it isn't long before you catch something in your periphery again. You turn to look. Roll another perception check.
There you go.
This time you do make it out. You see, just for a moment, it looks like a figure. A woman, maybe. And then you catch the gray of her hair. And it's an old woman, disappearing between the trees.
This is easily the worst night you've had in days. Let's see. Sol gets up and actively searches for her, tries to stay within eyesight of the group.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see?
I don't know yet. Someone might be out there spying on us.
I will close the book. Keep my knife. Just in case.
If you see anything happen to me, wake Uther.
Okay.
Sol's going to step a bit farther out. He is actually going to use his one magic item, his bullseye lantern.
Okay. Not magic
Yeah.
at the normal lantern.
His awesome bullseye lantern. And he is going to just keep searching. So roll another.
Sure, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah.
As you start looking around,
20.
you keep catching movement in the periphery of your vision. And when you look to find it, it's gone. This time you did catch a glimpse. It was an old woman, a familiar old woman. She looks just like the one you killed. disappears into the trees.
That's called karma, my dude.
Yep.
And to make it clear, Bright,
Mm-hmm.
you're
I
looking
don't see a
around
thing.
also, and you don't see anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm like watching him for where he's going, just to see if I see anything.
Goodness.
Oh, we're all getting haunted, my dudes. Oh no.
Well, Sol's unnerved.
Well, this is fine.
Yeah. Sol calls out, I'm sorry. I had to do what I had to do. But if that's really you, face me.
2 hours before sunrise, how much searching in the woods are you going to do?
Let's say if I don't hear or see anything for another 10 minutes, I give up and go back to my spot.
Oh, every few minutes you catch a glimpse.
Oh, neat. For the rest of the night?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Oof.
I hate this country. All right. So it's just going to sit down, active watch rest for the evening.
Throughout the
Nothing is
rest of your
outside?
watch, you periodically catch in your periphery glimpses of something moving.
Yep. And I'll just say little prayers to help me keep my sanity.
Uther, your dream is simple.
Mhm.
It's the same empty crib that you found in the death house days ago. A woman placing a finger to her lips, the maid you now recognize, hushing you. And when you go to look, the crib is empty. Every time you turn, it's the same scene. The same woman. The same gesture of silence. And the same empty crib.
Is that all you can do, Barovia? Is that truly the best that you have?
The dream ends. Ficus, you dream as well. But you dream of a hall filled with food. A long table set for a banquet.
That sounds about right.
And at its head is the figure of your god, dancing on the end and shoving food in his face.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's party.
He grabs a chicken leg, leaps across the table, and presents it to you.
I hesitantly reach out and accept it and just kind of stare at him.
When you reach out, you see blood on your own hand.
Oh, Jesus.
And when you look down, you see that you're dressed in your going out best, the good boots and everything. But your body is covered in injuries. And when you look at your hand, you see the bubbles of venom playing across your arm. And this deity that you welcomed inside says, please, eat, have fun, enjoy, but be careful. 2 more nights. And your dream continues with pleasantry and food, complete with the knowledge that you are hurting. And your dream ends.
Do I wake up feeling full?
Not necessarily, but you wake up feeling fairly well rested.
I'll get up and start making breakfast for everyone.
Morning begins. Anything before you spend the next 6 hours on your way to the winery?
How far do I get in my Taroka deck?
You probably still have about 2 more nights worth of work like that. So you had 2 hours of work on it. So I'll let you finish it in 6. Kind of rudimentarily made. Anything before continuing to the winery?
Sol's good. Sol just gets up, dusts himself off, and he patiently waits for the others while still eyeing the list.
Since we're going to the winery, do you think we could drink one of these with breakfast? And Ficus will pull a bottle of wine out of her boot. I don't have any like orange juice for mimosas or anything like that, but if we're gonna go to a winery, we can just get more wine there, right?
I think that is a fine idea.
All right. Ficus will just pop open a bottle and just like pass it around the group. Nothing like some oats and wine to get you going in the morning.
How is our singular surviving NPC?
Yep, I was going to say
Okay.
Irina is off to the side in prayer. And Sol, you can recognize that her posture is perfectly penitent.
Sol will walk over to her and ask her, have you both come into an agreement on when you change, or just during prayer?
Irina will look up to you and have a look of old wisdom in her eyes. Say, hi. I will be here when I am needed. I will help when the sword must be swung.
Well, my lady.
Otherwise, this is Irina's life to live. My time has passed in many ways.
Well, my lady, may I ask you a simple question?
Of course.
It appears that Barovia wants to haunt me with a sin I may not be ready to let go of myself. The woman that I killed, I believe I saw her chasing us or watching us last evening.
Guilt can weigh heavily on a heart. But I told you, you have no reason to guilt. She chose her fate. You merely delivered it. You must understand, soul, that light and life must be fought for. And there will always be those who stand against light and life. You cannot allow them to snuff out what's been given to others.
Thank you for your kind words, my lady. I feel as it's the only guilt I'll be carrying around, maybe literal, for the next few days. And with that, Sol nods again and just helps the group get ready to go.
Sure. It's 6 more hours of walking to the west and to the south before you get to the Wizard of Winery itself. And as you pass to about a mile outside of it, the path changes. It changes from the fairly well-worn road to a muddy, rut-filled path. It's no longer as easy to travel and walk, but it's also not so bad as to get in your way or slow you down overly. You pass through the forest, and the forest opens up over a valley. You've been traveling all day at this point, with 6 hours of walking behind you. Evening has begun to settle. You know that night in Barovia arrives quickly. In the next 45 minutes or so, there won't be enough light to see this far. But for now, you can see unpainted fences and vines growing in rows up and down the hillside of what is, in any other setting, would almost certainly be a beautiful visage. There's a single building in the distance. From here, you can see movement amongst the vines. But more importantly, off toward the trees, just at the edge of the forest, there is a figure waving both arms in your direction. Just a few 100 feet away. You can hear them yelling, "Hey! Hey! Travelers! This way!"
I guess
Around you are ravens everywhere, flying through the trees.
That's what we needed. Ooh,
That scared me.
I just heard it. Ah.
Do we go to the person? Do
I'm
we
pretty
go
sure-
around the person? Can we go around
We-
the person?
We were told to go find the Keepers of the Feather, which is an organization like about ravens and stuff. So
Let's go see what the mayor wants.
I think that's a sign. That's a good sign. Sorry. We were told to go to the organization called the Keeper of the Feather, so I think that is in fact a good sign.
Well,
Okay.
He doesn't appear armed, so I'm sure it's pretty safe to go talk to him.
We'll go.
You make your way over, and as you start getting closer, the figure, he pulls his hood back, and you can see that he has black hair that is has two streaks of silver gray through it. But he's not an old man, probably in his early 40s or so. And he waves and says, hello, my friends, come, quickly, into the woods.
Wait, what?
Come. There
What is-
are, look. He points to all the movement down in the vines. He says, there's a danger in the winery, and come, speak with my family. We must discuss this for your own safety, please.
Who are you?
Adrian Murakov. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. But we really should get off the road before they see us.
Before who
They?
sees us?
Who is they?
He will walk over next to Ficus and point into the trees, and he says, You see that bush over there next to the vine? And what
Maybe?
appears to be a bush suddenly just scampers out of view.
Oh,
Twig blights. A lot of them. If any of them wander too close, they'll see us. They can't see us from here. They can't see more than 60 or so feet away. But if one gets too close, they will see. And if one sees, it will go back and tell the others, and then they will all see, and then we all have to run again.
yes, we've run into some on the way here. Yes, we are familiar. Thank you for pointing that out. And I just like make a let's go face. But
Right.
I am
Come on.
pulling out my knife and my wand now, and I just casually just have them just in case.
Sure. Yeah,
Leaf string his bow.
as
Your
before,
magic bow.
when you start to string the bow, you hook the string over one end, and as you draw it down, it glows.
When we heard about the Wizards of Wine, did we hear the name Mardukov?
So you heard from the tavern keeper that he needed wine, and that his family, the Mardukovs.
So
were
we
the
talked to
keepers of the wine.
Erwin Mardukov, right?
Correct.
And he
yes.
said he's missing the shipment from...
from the
that.
Wizards of Wine.
Yeah?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Just making sure I remembered right. Okay.
Yep.
So Leaf would say, you wouldn't happen to be... Oh, wait, did he give us his name? Sorry.
Yes, he introduced himself when Ficus asked.
As
Adrian Mardukov.
Adrian. Oh,
Do you know Adrian?
Adrian?
Yes.
Oh, we heard that Davian is missing. Is that
Well-
accurate?
No, Davian just owns it. It's a Wizard of Wines. Yes?
Ah.
Who told you he was missing?
Oh, sorry. That was Gregory making a mistake. The
Oh, no,
shipment
it's
was
fine. It's
missing. We don't know who brought the shipment. Got it. Sorry.
Nope, that's fine. Adrian, yes. Come, let's get off the road. Here into the clearing. Come along,
Get off
quickly.
the road, quick.
As he disappears into the woods, the number of ravens around you becomes even more clear. There's dozens of them in the trees, following your every move, watching.
Give them a respectful salute.
You could swear one nods its head in acknowledgement. It's not long, just another few hundred feet off the road, where you're brought into a small clearing. And in the clearing, there are 9 people gathered. A group of 4 kids, or 3 kids, 1 baby, 2 other,
It's free
with
real estate.
their parents,
Dang it.
an old man sitting off by himself to the side, and a few others, seemingly discussing things amongst themselves. And Adrian gestures you over to a campfire that they have started and food that they have stewing over the top. He says, come, you really do need to be careful. What are you doing out this far?
We came looking for you for the Wizard of Wines.
Oh, well, you're nearly there. That is the Wizard of Wines just down there. It's a
And
little
you are
overrun.
not there.
You are correct. We have had a bad couple of days, to say the least. So, the short version is the forest folk who live in the woods here in western Barovia. They've been attacking the Wizard of Wines off and on for, decades, to the point where we don't even notice anymore. But, a few days ago, about a week ago, something really got into them. And they came in force. We drove them back. But then they came again a few days later. And then they came again 2 days ago, and this time it was too much for my family and I. We had to flee. Been here in the woods for 2 days, just hoping they go away.
Have they overrun your homestead? Is the winery overrun?
Oh, yes, absolutely. They chased us out and we ran as fast as we could. Didn't even have time to get anything but some food.
When he says the wood folk, would I know, does that mean like people that live in the woods? Or the woods have become like walking and aggressive?
Folk that are made of wood.
So you do know of the forest folk. The forest folk do not interact positively with anyone in Barovia.
Still,
They are
people or trees?
They are people.
Okay.
They tend to be they often wear animal antlers and
I'm into it.
usually have things like teeth necklaces.
Very
do-
into it.
They do not make a distinction between human and animal. So they will have, they're as likely to have human teeth on their necklace as anything else.
Knew that was coming.
Yep,
They-
there it is. Valid.
They are very, very separated from the travels of the Vistani and the villages in Barovia itself. They've been like that for centuries, to the point where they barely speak a language anyone can understand.
Excellent.
Bright would know that maybe every 1 in 5 forest folk can speak a handful of words in common, just enough to interact. And all of them speak it's a kind of corrupted form of Druidic. unintelligible to fluent speakers of
Actual
Druidic,
druids.
but it is a unusual group. Let's just say a very dissatisfied group.
So's gonna look over and ask, before they attacked you in such a large number, did you obtain anything that might have stoked their ire or upset them in some sort of way?
No. I mean, they've attacked regularly for generations, but we haven't gained anything new or different. Quite frankly, we don't know what changed so recently. Something did, though.
Well, we didn't do anything.
It got much worse 2 days ago.
What were we doing 2 days ago?
Finishing up blessing the orphanage.
Cool.
I
This
couldn't.
is fine.
I was like, I couldn't tick them off so much. You had to mess up someone else's random winery.
I have a question.
Yes.
You say this has been going on for generations?
Yes.
Like, how long has this winery been here?
Oh. It's been in our family for
Generation.
hundreds of years.
Was it here? Was it present pre
Strahd?
darkness, Strahdness?
Well, I don't know. No, we established the winery. Well, yes, we established the winery just before Lord Strahd. Give me a second, Father.
Let me
Father,
check the
come over
book.
here. This old man off to the side looks up and says, "Why would I come over there?" Father, these travelers have a question for you. Why would I want to answer their question? Father.
Because we may be able to help you if you are kind and helpful to us.
One of those. Still all bright and hopeful, are we?
Well,
How
yeah.
did he know your
Yeah.
name?
What?
What?
Father, please.
My friend's name is Bright. But would you be Davian, sir?
Yes, what's it to you?
We have heard of you, sir.
Erwin mentioned you might be in trouble.
Owen? That prodigal boy that ran from his duties at the winery. Does he still have that stupid inn? What did he call it? The
Blue water
yellow
inn.
raindrop, the golden shower. What is it?
Blue water. Can you not, HP?
Blue water. Stupid. He should be here. He should be with his family.
Well, he was concerned about your well-being as the shipment hadn't arrived and thought something might have occurred. Sent us to investigate.
Tell me true, did he ask about me and my well-being, or did he ask about the shipment?
Oh, mostly about you, sir.
He asked
Both, of
about the
course.
shipment.
I don't believe a word of
The
it.
three of us said something different.
Father.
From us. I love that.
Father,
Definitely
please,
all you. No.
just talk to them. They're not going to do anything bad or rash. What is you? You've never met these people before. What would you know of them?
Can
You're right, Father.
Can I just walk over to him instead of making him come over to us?
Sure.
Just kind of kneel at his feet and just be like, Uncle, we are here to help if we can. We have been told that there are people around here that could help us, and if we are in the area and have found you in need, then we can pass along the same. That is what people do for each other, yes?
So you're telling me that you're going to go down there and chase those things out of my winery out of the goodness of your heart?
Yes,
No.
actually.
What? he seems taken aback from that. You must be new to Barovia.
I have lived here my whole life. I do not do this just out of the goodness of my heart, but out of the fact that we have an agenda of our own. And making the way easier for other people to help us leads for all of us to be better in our own ways. So, would you like to make our way easier in exchange for us making yours?
That is the oddest deal that anyone has ever offered me.
Thank you.
I suggest taking their deal before I give you my offer.
Ooh, now you could be a native. That's the Barovia I know. Threaten the old man again.
I will just produce flame in my hand and just pull hair like fire out of my hair. Is this really what you want then? I like to do things a different way, but if you insist.
The capability of darkness.
And I flick it away.
You all might do well. We shall see. Sure, if you want to free my winery, free my winery. I would be ever so grateful.
Of course.
What
What should
happens
we
if
know
we
about?
don't? Why
Well-
haven't you just left?
We're getting our strength together. We'll try to take it again if they get bored and wander off. I'm not going to abandon what my family has built.
But they've been here since you started this winery.
They attack and they fight and they bicker and they get bored and go away. They're unruly, unorganized.
Doesn't make
Oh.
this not their home just because they're unorganized.
What, you think they're trying to take back their land? We've been here for hundreds of years.
So have they.
Our
She's got the point.
families have had long agreements. We stay out of their woods. They stay out of our winery.
Is
We
this an
don't-
unspoken agreement or can they be reasoned with?
Oh, I wouldn't speak with the forest folk. I can't understand a word they say anyway. And always with the twig blights. They don't ask questions before they attack. Do you think everyone in Barovia can be reasoned with?
No, actually I don't. That's why I asked.
I believe
can't.
everybody in Barovia can be dealt with.
Ooh. Yes. Of that, I am most certain.
Do you have any idea how many are inside?
There were a handful of their shamanistic ones. Some of the big plants, and then dozens and dozens and dozens of the little twig blight. Hundreds, in fact, I would say. One of them carries a staff, and I think that he might be the one in charge.
And I don't suppose out of the darkness of your heart you care to tell us anything else about the wineries that we should know?
What do you want to know about the winery?
Or any places that might be easily trapped that we might fall prey to? Any particular spots that they tended to like? Anything that would give us a bit of a heads up for, helping you.
Adrian, you were the last one out. Where were they congregating? Well, Father, they were all over the place. They were just digging through things, breaking barrels, checking them. They weren't even drinking the wine, just spilling it and running.
That's
It's like they were looking for something.
Anything of values that you have?
Not that we could imagine they would want.
But
But what? We're a winery. We sell wine for money. We have money there. We have wine there. They've shown no interest before.
just sounded as if you had something that someone might want, but not the wood folk.
Irina will walk
Oh, yeah.
forward and put a hand on Adrian's shoulder. And with the voice of old wisdom, say to him, "There are many things hidden in those casks, aren't there, Adrian Martikov?" Adrian will look toward Irina and look back toward the rest of you. But are they trustworthy? Are they worth the secrets? Irina just hums. I know very well what the Martikovs protect. And I know very well what the forest folk seek. Shall you tell them, or shall I? Adrian will look up at her. Davian will slowly stand up with a cane in front of him.
Tell them nothing, boy. There's no reason to. They've been flighting and flying from task to task since they got here.
Adrian will look at his father. Father, no. We hold a gem, a nephesh, a petrified soul of the famed. The forest folk want it. I don't know why.
Perhaps they're trying to prevent us from our task.
Or even worse, someone commissioned them to find it.
It's possible. You were awfully close at the windmill to finding one, weren't you?
I guess I'll look over at Uther.
You was there?
Barovia is a small place. Word gets around.
I just kind of smile at him because I have an idea.
Can we start dealing with the winery, or are we going to do more talking?
It's like I keep telling you, sir. We need to make sure we are prepared so that we can be our best when we attack.
I agree. In fact, if I can observe our adversaries for even a few minutes, I can probably enhance our advantage.
Well, then let's go at it.
I'd like to
careful.
join you, Leaf, in your observations.
Give us... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, be careful. Study their movements. I'm not sure which way into the winery will be best.
How many
I'm sure with some
entrances are
careful
there?
looking. Oh, the number of. Well, the easy ways in are through the front doors. The set of double doors on the veranda. We were able to lock those before we fled, so they might be tough to get in, but they'd be easy to keep everything else out. There's side doors around, one at the glass blowing workshop and the other at the cloakroom next to the outhouse. You should be able to get in through the loading dock. And just be careful you don't lock yourself in the stable. That would be unpleasant amongst
Duly
all of
noted.
this.
That is good information to have. That will help us greatly. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Do they have any scouts outside of the building?
Oh, there are several hundred
Patrols
twig
and
blights.
such?
Hundreds of twig blights among the vines. I fear you'll have to find a way through them to get to the winery itself. And please, he gestures toward Bright and her hair. Please don't burn down my grapes.
I will do my best. And I just kind of lift the hood from my shoulders and put it over the hair as if to contain it.
One last question.
Sure.
I actually have a hood.
Where's the stone?
It is kept beneath one of the fermenting vats. There's a false bottom. If they haven't found it yet, then that is where you will find it.
All right. Thank you.
One of the empty vats?
It's partially full. You'll find the secret door on the back of the vat. We keep that cask half full.
Optimism.
Solo just taps Spike his shoulder.
Perhaps you
Anything-
three should wait here for a few moments while Ficus and I see what we can discern.
I'm just going to say hurry up before Uther gets bored.
Give us
Very close
10
to
minutes.
being bored.
Ficus will druid craft something really quick and put it in Uther's hands and be like, stare at this. I need it back. And then she'll like just scurry out the front door.
Gives
Leaf
Uther
is-
a fidget spinner and hopes for the best.
Fidget twigs.
Nice.
Jet twigs.
Just little twigs to just crunch as the minutes go by, essentially.
As Leaf is leaving, he'll kind of turn back and say, "How far do the blights seem to come?"
They've been sticking mostly to the vines themselves, just trying to keep us away, I suppose.
He just nods and then turns back and heads towards the vineyard.
As the Ficus and Leaf cut through the trees to go toward the edge to overlook the winery, the ravens in the trees around adjust their weight and flitter their wings and caw. And with them passing through the leaves, we're going to take just a brief few-minute break before we see what happens at the winery itself. So let's take about 5. And we are back. We pick back up with Ficus and Leaf heading to the edge of the hill that's overlooking the vines and the winery itself. So you two can do your studying as much as you would like. The 3 of you have about 10 minutes to kill, but we're going to skip past it unless you have something pressing you want to address with the Mardikovs. Hearing nothing. So after a few minutes, Ficus and Leaf, you watch the millings about and tell me what this 10 minutes is buying you.
Leaf really wants to take a look at the blights, and actually any of these individuals that he can see. He's going to study each one for, at least a minute, because then he can use his nifty skill as a monster slayer and learn something about them.
Sounds good.
Ficus is going to be listening in onto how they communicate with one another and seeing if she can pick up any Sylvan, because she can understand Sylvan. But mainly because they said that the small ones out here warn progressively, and if they see you, they'll just tell everyone and it kind of goes back. So she just kind of wants to get an understanding as to how their communication structure is going.
All right. So Ficus, I want you to roll me a perception check. And then Leaf, you learn.
So with Hunter's Sense, he needs to get pretty close. Yeah, I have to be within 60 feet. So at this point, I might only be able to get one of the blights in the actual vineyard, which is
So
fine.
you want to get within 60 feet of a blight.
Yeah. So
Stealthily. We're moving
I
so
want-
quietly.
I want you to roll a stealth check.
gladly. How
Okay,
about a
both of
22?
you- Both of you succeed. Ficus with a 23 perception, Leaf with a 22 stealth. So Leaf, you creep forward, and as you get to the edge of about 60 feet away from the edge of the first vines, this stone wall that's surrounding part of the vineyard, you're able to get a closer look at these blights. And as you're that close, you notice immediately that there are hundreds of them crawling all over this stretch of road, probably a good 3/4 of a mile before you get to the winery itself. So as you're watching and studying, you do learn what you learn from that, which is their vulnerabilities and such, if I believe.
Yes, correct.
So you learn that you suspect very strongly, know that they would be. Well, I guess I should give it a chance to see.
I can
but-
learn their damage,
That's what I thought.
immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities.
You know that they are vulnerable to fire. You're able to pick that up just because they are essentially living twig creatures. Each of these creatures is about 2 feet tall. Some of them as short as 18 inches or so. They're not particularly large creatures. They don't have any eyes at all. So you know that they're seeing in some other way. So you learn that just by studying the way they're moving and how they're avoiding the vines and each other, that they're going to be immune to blind and deafening. It seems they do not use either their eyes or ears to navigate in any way.
Okay.
And even your excellent stealth at 60 feet, there's still one that just kind of seems like it's looking around, for lack of a better descriptor, but it doesn't appear to recognize your presence. And then Ficus, with your 23 perception, as you are studying these creatures, you can see that you can hear this clicking sound that they're making. None of them have used any language at all, but there's this clicking and cracking sound. It's almost like they're breaking off small parts of themselves to click. And that is echoing throughout the vineyard. So there's this just throughout the vineyard every once in a while. So that's what the two of you learn on your scouting mission.
One other thing that Leaf is looking to determine is if there is a best route to approach the building. In other words, like, where are the greatest and least concentrations of these creatures, or are they sort of evenly spread and we're kind of SOL?
What I'm going to do for this situation is so what we're basically going to do is everyone is going to be able to interact with this trip up to the winery. We're going to do it a lot like a skill challenge. So each of you will contribute in some way. If you succeed, it goes well. If you fail, it goes poorly. You can do big things to help or little things to make it easier. So in this case, Ficus's perception check is a big thing to help, understanding how everything functions. Leaf's understanding of these creatures with that special ability and the good stealth check, that's a small thing to help. So that is going to make it easier the next time somebody does something big, like what you just asked, finding a better path to get up there. So what I'll do in this case is, Leaf, go ahead and make a survival check. And I'm going to adjust a DC because you did something to help yourself.
That's a 10, and I do not have I don't have inspiration, so I can't re-roll.
And a 10 is not enough to get a look at where these things are moving, how they're moving, or even what's going on. And in fact, as you are trying to get a vantage point to see, your ability to be stealthed kind of slips a little bit. And you step on a twig of your own that cracks beneath your feet. And two of them climb up to the top of a vine nearby, start clicking, look your way, and send a bunch of needles at you. and these are going to do 8 damage.
Okay.
They start clicking and start gathering in that corner, so you probably ought to either flee or face them.
Leaf will scurry back to the group at that point.
Ficus will kind of go back a little bit slower watching them.
Mhm.
She's very curious as to kind of like, is this like a hive mind? Do they communicate directly to the person who could be carrying the staff or something like that? She's essentially trying to decipher what is the fastest way to the person that is the speaker for this group.
Sure. So what we're going to do is, even though it mixes the timelines a little bit, that perception check that's so fantastic, as you're watching this from a little bit higher vantage point, you see Leaf go down closer, and you see what looks like the ripples as the clicking intensifies once they discover him and attack. There's this rippling, and then they begin to crowd together at that one point. And you can see where you're at, how all of these twig blights kind of come to that point where they were attacked, and after a few moments begin to slowly disperse again throughout the vines. So there's a very strong reaction to a threat that they all are called to. And the two of you make your way back to the clearing.
Have I ever seen a wood folk?
You probably would have seen one before, yes.
Good to know.
Essentially, they're human. There's nothing strange or different other than the way they live and the way that they've chosen to live. They tend to be touched by Strahd. They, from what you and the Vistani would know, they don't worship Strahd, but they see him as some kind of a messenger. Adrian will turn as you two come back. So what do you think?
Well, they're susceptible to fire. They don't
Please don't burn down my vines.
Yeah, I wasn't going to suggest it. I'm just letting everyone know. And then they do seem to not have sight or hearing, which is strange. So they must, maybe they feel things through the ground or something similar. And there's a whole lot of them. I didn't see a clear path up to the house. Ficus, did you figure anything out yourself?
I think if we're able to cause a distraction in one area, it would provide a path in another area. I think they're spread pretty thin, but when they sense danger, they tend to congregate and want to eliminate the threat as quickly as they can. I would, however, like to voice that I don't know much about these wood folk, but if they were here before this land was turned into a winery, I don't think I'm the person to say who gets dibs.
Okay. So they do see Strahd as a messenger.
Yeah, Ficus doesn't know that, though. No one's told her that, so she just thinks that these are literally wood folk protecting their home.
That's what Adrian's saying right now.
Oh, okay, then. Good to know. Good considerations.
Don't have much consideration for my family or I, and we don't hunt them down as they try to hunt us down.
They were here first. They serve an evil dictator. Oh!
Ficus is going to insight check, because while I, Courtney, have player knowledge,
yes,
she does not trust this person.
Insight away. A 10.
It's a 10.
Sincere. You look around at the family that's gathered here, and the best Ficus can put together, they seem to be the victims in this situation.
They are not blamed for where their ancestors decided to settle. Just There's a point. This is their home now, and it does need to be respected in that way.
All right, so fire's out.
Well, I think that there can be a way to contain it.
Please
Maybe.
don't burn down my vineyard.
Do you think I lack self-control that way? Come on. I've grown up with this. I know how to manage it.
Fire is always an option.
That's Noir talking.
Yeah. No, that's Uther.
Me and Uther are in agreement.
Yeah. How many houses have we burnt down? in the
We're not
last
gonna keep
4 days?
track. We're not gonna keep track.
You didn't write. Okay, you didn't see it.
So what are you guys going to do?
You don't have any.
Essentially what I'm offering is you can head over to the vines, and any idea that you have to try, I will let you do a skill check to match. If you beat the DC I set, it'll help you guys get through, and if you get through, actually because of that success from Ficus, if you get just 2 more successes, then you can make your way through the vines to get to the house itself.
I potentially have a way to either cause a distraction or just allow us to pass.
I think the distraction would help. I don't know what your way to allow us to pass is.
I can turn into a wood folk.
What would that do for us?
How?
It's at this
sure.
point that Uther will walk by
You're just gonna
Fake.
go straight through, aren't you?
and give her back the little thing she made and go time's up and start walking.
Uther, wait 1 second. And by second, I mean give me 2 minutes.
You can't
that's-
face an army on your own. Where are you going?
I'm
One way
gonna
to test that theory.
You
I'm
are gonna look like a
go follow
porcupine.
him. I'm gonna go follow him.
As you come
So-
out of the trees, it's about 6:15. It's beginning to get dark in Barovia, not so much to stop you from being able to see. At the top of the hill, you look down and you can see the vineyard just crawling in these creatures. It's like the vines themselves are alive, rippling with the movement from one place to the other. There are hundreds.
So
Yeah.
grabbed a log from the fire and he has a torch.
Davian kind of stands back up after having sit down. Don't burn down.
I'm gonna
the
yell.
vine.
I'm gonna yell behind me. I'm gonna try really hard not to. Promise.
2 of us do have the abilities to control flames, so we could put it
That
out.
is true.
Not a full fire.
It
has
may
the
be a
highest
deterrent
passive
since
percent?
they're so susceptible to it. Maybe they'll just shy away from fire if they even encounter it.
It's true. Maybe I just put my hood down and scares him that way.
Who has the highest passive in here?
12.
I think I do.
15.
I'm sure.
15.
No, wait, I don't. That's right. It's not. I'm thinking
I've got 16.
Okay.
Uther, you can
Strong
hear Davian as he sits back down under his breath say, "Watch them." And about 24 ravens burst out of the trees up
Mhm.
into the air and begin circling over the vineyard.
And I'm just gonna keep going forward.
If
Uther, you're
This
gonna
is-
look like a porcupine. Don't do it. The pokes leaf a whole bunch.
Oh yeah. Doink. He pulls it out.
oof.
So
I'm-
we have had both Ficus and Leaf have done something to help in this situation. So something of the other 3 of you. How are you going to make your way toward the house or help in this situation?
I am going to get as close to these things as possible. I am going to rage and I am going to let loose the loudest scream that me and my grief can put together.
He
Okay.
just said
Okay,
we blundered.
so my plan to use stealth is just gonna immediately be null and void.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No,
So,
I love this. This is delightful. Okay, I'm gonna go rewrite my plan.
Leaf tells
You-
Uther
you
they
do
can't
this.
hear anything. Uther's response: "Roar!"
So the thing is,
Yep.
the sound is more in your head than anything, according to him.
Sure.
So if this has any intellect, who knows?
So are you using the sword's ability?
I want to try.
Yeah.
So you're going to go to within 10 feet of one of these things.
Yeah.
When you get 60 feet away, a pair of them jump up on top of the nearby wall, and you can hear this clicking sound. It sounds like twigs being broken along a path. And those two send flying towards you a cavalcade of thorns. I mean, it's too many come flying out of the bushes to even try to dodge, and they don't even have to.
He's not dodging. He just let it come.
They don't even have to try to hit you. It simply happens as you take 5 piercing damage.
He's okay with this.
And you on the hill, who are a little bit behind, you can see the ripples in the among the vines as these twig blights begin to congregate at the point of Uther's approach.
Ficus will like silently tap Leaf and Sol and just like point at like the path that's essentially being cleared.
Are we using Uther as a distraction?
Yes,
one
we
way or the
are,
other. That's what's
apparently.
happening.
Okay.
So
I mean, if Bright is going with Uther, I think Ficus is more okay with leaving Uther as a distraction because Ficus can just set shit on fire. Or not Ficus. Bright can set shit on fire.
Both of us can.
Both of us can. Yeah.
We have one pyromancer in each group. This is fine.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Would you
So
like me to use my last? I still gotta have the last one. Want me to roll to see if we make it through?
no. So yes. So are you going to run for it, stealth for it? How are the trio of you going to move forward?
Well, Leaf is still gonna try to be quiet and
I think
unnoticed.
Ficus would want to be too, but
Okay.
All right. Let's see the paladin. Let's see how his stealth roll works.
The
I
This is
believe in
fine.
you.
the 3 of you do stealth, and as long as 2 of you pass, you'll be fine.
Oh boy. 23.
17.
13.
Hey.
With the
no, you have to take
distraction going
disadvantage.
on.
Yours is a 9.
He gets advantage because of the distraction.
Oh, nice. Never mind.
Haha.
So as these things start to congregate and start sending volleys of thorns at Uther, the 3 of you slip through an opening and have a clear shot to the house itself. So you have a clear shot all the way to the winery. Uther, you keep going forward. You get to within 10 feet of them. You let loose one of the screams from your sword, and
No
a
fact.
dozen of them shatter under the assault.
Oh, Luther, why did you do the sound thing?
You then take 16 more damage as another wave of these thorns comes flying out of the vines to hit you.
That's cool.
You're
16, so
raging,
that's
right?
8. Yep.
Yeah.
These are
This sounds about right. Uther most likely will kill himself with his own weapon than some enemy.
Oh,
Yeah.
and speaking of, you do have to make a wisdom saving throw against your weapon
Cool.
when you use that.
Let it take me over.
So an 8 is a failure.
Mhm.
So roll
Oh, no.
3d10, and that's the
Mhm.
damage you do to yourself in psychic damage.
Nifty.
Rough.
3d10.
Listen, I was about to cast Sanctuary on him to try and help him, but this can't be helped.
Okay, just 8 damage.
All right, that's fine.
Just 8.
This can't be helped.
I'm so squishy.
He's like, I wish I could take 8 damage.
He's, in fact, the more pain that this weapon is causing him, the more you can see he's elated to have it. like this is everything that's happening to him is the closest to a smile that he's had all day. This is what he's after.
I'm standing well back of him.
Okay.
So
Just gonna let it happen. I think you need to get this out, dude.
We have a joke for this.
Ficus is going to send a message to Bright as long as they're still within 120 feet, just letting Bright know the direction that we went in.
So you can send that when you're about 120 feet away, but you have further to go than that. So that's fine. The message gets shot that way. Bright, are you doing anything in particular?
I'm letting him have his time, man.
Okay.
I'll chip in when it gets worse. I think he needs this a second.
Uther, do you have an extraction plan? What are you going to do this time?
Do we have any type of plan? No.
How many more are left alive?
Oh, there's hundreds of them.
Oh,
you
okay,
killing a dozen doesn't really affect their numbers at all. So
then
they just
we're gonna keep this party going like until he drops or somebody pulls him out. He walked into this just knowing this is going to hurt and I get to kill something. Happy days. So we're going to let loose another scream.
All right, go ahead and make a wisdom save against your own sword. You fail again, so 3d2.
That's it. That's about right.
Oh no.
Does this sword affect me?
Not
Am
if
I
you're more
getting
than
hurt
10
from
feet
this?
away.
Sweet, I'm definitely that far away.
Okay. Cool. And
that's psychic.
Yep.
And then another. They double again in size. Right from your perspective, it's the end of the movie 300. The sky
I don't know what that means.
darkens with needles instead of arrows. They just come showering down, wave after wave. These needles fall, and that's 31 damage. To Uther.
Okay.
15.
We're good.
Oof.
Leaf, Bright, Leaf, Ficus, and Sol, you make it up to the winery building itself, and as you get close, Ficus, you hear that clicking sound, and you turn around to see that another group of them seem to have detected you as you arrived at the winery, and the word is starting to spread. How
I
are
think
you
Leaf
getting
would
in?
just open fire and start, anything that's like whatever's the closest, he's gonna start shooting at.
Okay, you can make a ranged attack if you'd like.
I was hoping to wait till we got inside. Can I get both of my attacks?
Yes, feel free.
All right, here we go. Let's see. I will use. I won't mark any of them, but I will use the sharpshooter. So.
Okay.
Here we go. First attack is that's only a 10. That's terrible. Second attack is a 12. Arg.
So there are so many of these twig blights that start to congregate that rather than finding it easier to hit them, you're finding it difficult to see where one ends and the next one begins. And you find yourself missing as they start to head your way.
Roll single digits.
Ficus is just gonna come alongside Leaf and never mind. She's gonna wait. Never mind.
Leaf takes 11 damage from the miss as they return fire.
Okay.
Ficus, Sol,
Soul's
then
gonna.
we'll go to Bright.
Soul is going to stand between Leaf and the creatures. I'm just gonna push Leaf and say, just run inside. And I'm gonna wave the fire at him to see if that has any kind of effect. Just wave it as close to him as I can. Trying not to set him on fire.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
All right. $23.
23.
Nice.
You succeed. As you start waving this torch back and forth, these creatures that start to move inward ripple back as the light gets close to them. It's just getting dark enough that the torch is making a difference, and the clicking sound of those breaking twigs, it moves over as you start waving the flames.
Hey, thanks for the gifted subs there, friend.
Yeah, thanks for the gifted subs, friend.
And the +2 from Sir Heckalot for Leaf.
Yeah, heck.
Ficus.
To aid in the intimidation, Ficus is just going to stand alongside Sol and just cast Control Flames to make the flames just kind of like spread as he's waving the stick above and out in front of them to kind of create like a nice shell, essentially, but also hoping that this is bright enough for Bright and Uther to see that we have in fact made our way up here, so that way they can join us.
Okay. So you start to control flames, and there's no check or anything you need to do. The flames bend to your will and start arcing through the air. Bright and Uther, you both notice this movement. You can see Sol swinging the torch, and you can see Ficus making the flames dance and move. And the danger of that fire has caused more of them to shift in that direction, moving away from what's going on at the edge and moving toward what's going on closer to the winery.
I am going to walk towards Uther at this point. And how tall are you again, Uther? Just trying to figure out
I
how
believe
far I
I'm
can up to you.
7'6".
Lit. So you, I guess, like on the middle of your back, just feel hands pushed up against your back, and Bright casts Sanctuary on you, and then just kind of like moves to almost give you like a little hug and presses her forehead against your back and just says, I cannot fight the battle inside of you, but I can help you out here. Please know that we are here to help. You see where they are. Take us. And I'm essentially just turtling myself behind him, and he now cannot get hit by things unless they make wisdom saves. So he can just turtle charges forward while still doing his screams if he wants.
Okay.
In response, you'll just see him take his sword and just kind of wipe off all the quills on the front of him. His eyes go from glowing black to glowing blue as you notice a lot of the wounds start to close on him.
My head is just like pushed up against your back. Just like, protect me, please. Let's go.
Okay. And he'll pick you up and then just start walking towards the other.
I mean, okay, now I'm a target, but sure.
Oh no, he's turned
no,
around
yes.
and he's got you like in front of him. And so if they turn around to shoot,
Oh, now
it's
I'm
all
the
at his
baby.
back.
Oh no.
Shut up. And he's gonna move.
You just need to hold something in combat, don't you?
Shut up. I still have Lancelot.
As you start walking through these, and as they're peeling off to go off to the side, between the spells and the checks that have been made, the two of you, with Irina and Lancelot alongside, make your way to the winery and find yourself standing outside of it as Sol and Ficus are trying to keep these growing numbers of these creatures back, away from themselves, away from the winery itself.
They can't hit Uther for a minute without a save. And I doubt sticks are wise.
You all made it up to the wrong one. To the winery proper. You know, you asked about the ways in. There's a couple ways in. So we're gonna go back up to Leaf, Ficus, Sol. Anybody that wants to take an action, everybody can have a single action, and there's consequences if you fail.
Ficus is gonna try the front door.
Yeah. Ficus, see if you can get us inside.
She's just gonna try to open it, like just normal, just approach door.
So Ficus, you run up to these double doors on the veranda, and you can see as soon as you get there that they're chained together on the outside with a padlock.
I have so many padlocks, but no keys.
Oh, I have a key. Probably not useful though, because it's the one that we pulled off the Dusk Elf.
Yeah, probably not.
I just got excited that I had a key.
Ficus will attempt to pick the lock, that
All
is part of the padlock, since she's just collecting them in Barovia.
Mm-hmm.
Since Leaf has unlimited arrows now, he's just gonna keep firing.
That's fine.
So he's really enjoying this new bow that seems to I love Ranger from the old school D&D cartoon. So just these lightning arrows or whatever. Like I said, there's like thin blue laser
lights.
wire.
Go ahead
It's a
and make your two
natural
attacks.
2 for me.
Ficus, I am sorry to say, as you start picking this lock, it gets the best of you. And while you are standing there in the veranda, a wave of these quills is fired at you, and you take 6 damage.
Okay, how about a 23 to
Uncanny
hit?
dodge.
Dang it. Second one missed again. That was a 12, but the first one was a 23 to hit.
So you're able to, you take down a couple of them with a single arrow. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't.
Right.
You're not going to thin their
It's
numbers,
more
but you
about
do
like
make it-
if any of them get too close, he'd want to take them out.
You do make it a little bit easier for whoever does their next check.
Also trying to clear a path for Bright and Uther.
Bright and Uther have made it. Bright, Uther, and Irina
Oh.
have all made it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So
I thought
between
they
the
were
spells being used and what's going on, they made it up.
super.
Yeah, we're trying to get through our own entrance. Sol's gonna try another intimidation.
Okay, go ahead.
Another 23.
23. You are swinging the torch back and forth, and they do fall back just a little bit, but you're starting to get the idea that with the mass of numbers they're getting, that it probably won't work again in a helpful way.
I yell, "Get that door open!"
Okay.
Is there a window nearby?
There's a window right next to you right here.
I want to break through the window. F this door.
Okay. You don't have any...
Can I try the door?
Yeah, I'll let Bright try the door actually before I go for the
I was
window.
gonna say, because I have expertise for thieves' tools now.
Sure.
Do you
Bright,
have
head
these
up,
tools? If not, you can borrow mine.
I have so much.
You head up to the front door. It's locked with a chain on the outside. You can go
That
ahead
just
and make
says
a
other
check.
proficiency on it. It doesn't actually roll. Okay, that's fine.
It's a dex
Yeah, I
check
know.
with, yeah.
One minute. Math is loading.
People.
21.
21 is enough. You're able to unlock that and peel the chain off. So the front doors are available to go in.
Ficus will
Uther.
grab the chain and padlock and bring it inside with us.
Okay.
Solid collection here.
Well, to padlock the doors once we're inside the house.
Yes.
Sol is going to assume everybody's getting in while he's backing away towards the door.
Irina will run in to the door. Uther, you running in? Stand behind.
He'll storm in.
Okay. Sol and Leaf. You back
Yeah, I
in
mean,
to
Leaf
the
would
last
probably
two in.
be. Leaf would go in right before Solaire, for sure.
All
As
right.
you back in, you can see these waves of these creatures. So apparently, I forgot a very important thing, and we have been staring at the map of Barovia instead of the stinking winery.
Theater of the mind.
Ooh.
I forgot to move the players.
It's
So
okay.
you come in.
Seeing that many twig blights on a map probably would have given me anxiety, so this is fine.
As you back in, Sol and Leaf, you can see these waves of twig blights start to head up toward the veranda and are beginning to climb in, and it seems like they're almost certainly going to follow you.
Perhaps fire?
The room that you are in has 4 large fermenting vats. Each one standing 12 feet tall and 12 feet wide. This room opens up. There's a catwalk around the top with storage barrels down below and a door off to this direction and double doors just on the other side of the last barrel. You have the rich smell of fermenting wine fills the air. It's this sour sweet smell that creates the wine. Wooden staircases in the center of the room leading up to the catwalk itself. There's 4 windows at the balcony level. There's old barrels stacked against the wall, the Wizard of Wines burned into each side. And as you're looking around the catwalk, you can see dozens of ravens perched on the railing, watching you with interest.
Are the doors closed yet?
You close the doors
Ficus is
behind
closing the doors and chaining them shut from the inside.
If any twig blights get in, I just like pew 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 with produce flame and just call it good.
Leaf will look up at the ravens and say, "Hello, friends." And then he's going to move over towards the vats and start tapping with his knuckles, rapping on them to see which one might be half empty.
I mean, just look at the secret door behind all of them.
So, Leaf, go ahead and go to whichever one you want.
I mean, I would just start on this side of the room since that's where my token is. So,
the first one's full. You work your way. By the time you get to the third one, you can hear that it sounds hollow on the bottom. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay. This seems to be the one.
Ficus is gonna keep her eye out. She's gonna kind of like glance out a window and just see if she can see a being with a staff outside at all.
When you look out the window, a cascade of these thorns comes flying at it. You can hear it hitting the outside of the window. And you also notice off to the left, the doorway through the cloakroom is actually swinging ajar.
This one
and
here?
you can hear movement coming from that direction.
Shut it.
Sol runs straight over and braces the door.
Okay.
Baby Sol will do it too.
You two slam it shut. There's a wooden beam at your feet, and Sol, just as you hit and close that door, you can see these, or you can hear these thorns on the outside. And then you start hearing the scratching and clawing, and despite your strength, you actually feel the door move a tiny bit as the wave of these thorn blights pushes against it.
I'd like to, at this point, take the wood beam and just lodge it against the door.
Yep.
I can make a strength check if you need.
While you make your way over there, I want Sol to make a strength check against the ones pushing against him.
Baby Sol is helping. Go take
go ahead and
advantage.
Roll with advantage.
All right.
You got a mini-me.
Oh, wait. I got an inspiration. I'm using it.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay. So before you use it, the 13 is fine.
Oh, okay.
The 13 is a success. That is the minimum for success.
Oh,
Ah.
I freaked out to 6.
So these things push against the door, and you start to feel it give. And just as you feel it start to give, Uther shows up, slams his body against it, and puts the wooden beam on the floor, locking the door into place. You can hear more of them breaking themselves against the outside, but you feel fairly secure where you're at for the moment.
Leaf will circle around to the back of the vat and look for this secret door.
So the back of the vat is ajar.
We feel secure enough for a short rest.
That's up to you.
Uther's taking a short rest.
That's
Well, if
fine.
it's ajar, we might be in trouble.
So Uther, as you go over there,
Mhm.
you see that double doors on that side of the room are also open.
Close
I'm go-
all the doors.
I'm going to slam the door shut.
I'm gonna just do a whole perimeter sweep and close every door.
You slam those doors shut, and just as you do, you feel them pushing against on the other side, building up. Give me a strength check.
This would be athletics.
Nice.
24 is plenty.
So
they
he's just
don't-
holding the door with one hand and going, "Sol, if you could be so kind." And he's pointing to a wood beam on the floor.
So, I hate you sometimes. I love it. I love it. Nope. Sol goes over and gives you a hand. The door locked.
Okay, you get that door secure. You've got all the doors secure. You feel the doors are secure at least.
Uther sits in the corner, recovering kit die if he can.
Please.
Do not do it yet.
Okay.
Sol has healing touch. Sorry, he's gonna use his touch to restore Uther. Let's say about 20 points worth. No, actually, you took the hit. Let's say all 30.
Okay.
I mean, he did half it.
All 30?
He did half it.
He did have some
Oh,
of it.
I
You
took
can't
the
have
whole thing.
psychic.
It's too late. I took the 30.
Yeah,
guys.
never mind.
Trying to
He needs it.
argue, trying to argue late, bro.
Never mind. He needs it. I thought. I don't know. I don't know.
I did rough math earlier. I was like, yeah, he got hit.
Psychic is that special barbarian damage that just makes you twinkle and sparkle.
And then he's gonna go over.
I believed in your toughness. Okay.
I appreciate you. No, I was still pretty good. I was at like 27.
It's fine.
Can Ficus go upstairs to the windows and try to get kind of like a better view of the land? I guess to see what's coming, because if it's just twigs, she's fairly confident they can get out. But if there's more out there,
So
that is
you
cause
get-
for anxiety.
You get to the top of the stairs, and when you do, you see this door over here quickly close shut just as you get to the top of the stairs.
Oh gosh.
And then the railing is covered in ravens. I mean, there are ravens just everywhere along the railing.
Ficus will nod at the ravens, but she's going to go after this guy with just like, or person, with just like as quickly as she can move, but as quietly, and also send a message to Leaf. There's more up here than just ravens. I think there's a person.
Oh.
Leaf
Ficus
will get
might
this
need help
message-
upstairs. And Leaf's gonna. Well, shoot. Dang it. Leaf was trying to find the thing in the. Oh, dear.
Here, just pass it off to Bright. Bright's not gonna go up where there's danger.
Yeah.
She'll investigate.
There you go. Bright, see if you can find the. What is
Whoop.
it we're looking for?
Yeah, that's why you're letting me investigate.
Stone.
The gem or
There's
whatever.
a soul gem.
Soul
Yeah.
gem.
There's a fermenting vat with a secret door.
It's one of the Infinity Stones.
Yep.
Exactly.
While Leaf's down.
There's a plot device hidden here somewhere.
That's what we're
I'm gonna use
saying.
Cure wounds on Leaf, so heal 7.
All right, so Leaf, you can have 7 hit points, and then you're going upstairs also.
Go up.
That's my understanding.
I got this.
Oh, you're giving Leaf 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Bright, what you see, so we can deal with the bottom of this vat while they chase after whatever
Yeah.
that was.
I have a good investigation. I figure it's useful for me to be here.
So when you swing open this, it's a fake door on the back of a vat, and the room is half of the vat. So it's about a 6-foot tall room. And in it, there is a wingback chair with a small table and a lamp next to it. There is a short bookcase that conforms to the wall, and almost all of the books are gone except for one laying on its side.
I would like to look at that book.
And then there is a it looks like it's a trio of feathers that have been carved from stone of some kind that are shaped in a way that it looks like something once sat in them
Mm-hmm.
but is no longer there.
What's the book?
The book has a very old cover, and as soon as you touch it, you can feel a sense of accomplishment, a sense of fulfillment. When you open the first page, the title of the book is These Are the Secrets of the Land of Barovia. So say the Keepers of the Feather.
That's what I'm here for. I take that book.
You have a hold of this book. As you flip through it a little bit, you start seeing it has the entire history of Barovia
It's my book.
from its very beginning.
It's my book.
And the handwriting changes from era to era, but you are quite confident that this is important.
Exactly
piece
what
of
we were looking
understanding.
for.
I want my book. This is the best book. Hi, I'm a nerd.
Irina is going to follow Leaf up the stairs so that she's there too. So the two of you are at the top of the stairs, and Uther's down chilling. Bright's doing that. Sol just healed. So back to Ficus and Leaf. What are you up to?
Ficus is at the door and she's just trying to go in.
Yeah, Leaf is gonna just run up behind Ficus.
Okay. You open the door. It opens without any problem. Let me get rid of it. And you're not supposed to be able to pass through that. Especially because there's somebody standing there.
Oh no.
And as soon as the door opens, this quarterstaff just falls and swings at you. And after this happens, everyone should probably roll initiative.
Oh.
It's okay, I'm reading my new book.
20 to hit.
That'll hit, but I will uncanny dodge.
For 6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh man. Terrible initiative
And-
for Leaf with a 7.
I haven't even opened the thing yet. I haven't cleared the old thing.
Oh my
no.
goodness.
Hey, to be fair, I'm rolling real dice and not that.
Ooh,
Okay, well that I rolled worse.
And he rolled a 21. He's gonna spring into action.
Of course. Why
With
wouldn't he?
sitting stance.
Uther's ready to party. Meanwhile, the rest of us who are actually upstairs are just like, what's happening?
So
Flat-footed.
we need to put Leaf in there.
I rolled one better, apparently. I rolled a 3. Yikes.
Leaf, what'd you get, a 7?
7, yeah. 7.2.
Ironically, that's exactly what I got when I rolled for you to put it in there.
That's funny.
And then, Bright, what'd you say you got?
I'm gonna 5. I'm reading a book.
And then, Sol, what did you get?
4.
Jeez.
Damn, the DM laughs at you.
All right, so this staff falls down, and Ficus, right after your head stops ringing, you see this figure in front of you wearing not completely tanned hides. They have antlers that are on this headdress on their head, and they have this just weird twisted grin on their face. Do you speak Druidic at all?
Da. What do I speak? I speak Common, Halfling, Thieves' Cant, and Sylvan. So no.
All right. So this person stares right at you and goes, "Did Gimadria Fasaga Sagita."
And a happy new year.
Uther, you're up first.
Okay. So what do I see in here?
So you would have heard above you to the far side of the room over here. You saw Ficus go up to a door, or you wouldn't really see her because of the angle. You see the door open a little bit, and you see probably the head of a person with horns and a stick just come down and slap, and you probably hear Ficus yell out.
To be fair, you also
Yeah, that was a
hear
big
from,
oof.
Yeah. You also hear from the secret room just, oh! Just like, Bright's happy at least. So she's set. You can do whatever.
Okay. Time to go to work. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Does that get me to where I need to be?
Puts you up here.
Let me scroll. Okay, so I'm in the face of one of these things.
That's Irina next to you.
What about this guy?
Those are the ravens that are all around the top of the railing.
I was like, please don't hit Irina.
Actually going to get rid of them because there's no reason for him to be there.
Okay, so the bad guy's over there a bit. So I'm gonna take a dash action. 5,
This was the day I didn't prepare any of my help everyone move faster spells.
40. So I'm right next to Fig.
Yep, you share space with Fig, and you see this forest folk right in front of you. They got a crazy look in their eye.
I am going to take my bonus action to rage.
Okay.
And standing in front of Fig will be two Goliaths made out of shadows with their arms like being very protective of Fig.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else? If not, then this forest folk in front of the two of you is going to grin with this just twisted grin, and when they smile, their teeth are all black and crooked and just absolutely nasty. And they begin to cast a spell. And they cast Thunder Wave.
Oh no.
So I need a Constitution save from Uther and Fig both. 18 from Fig, 26 from Uther. You both are fine. You take the half the 9 thunder damage, so you each take 5.
And then I take half of that.
Yep. The wave of energy beats against your chest, and you stumble backward against the railing for a moment, and the ravens on there burst off the side and fly up into the air, but neither of you are pushed off the side. The figure kind of looks confused for a second and looks over to their left and says, Gemidere Diana Fasga, saying something off into the darkness that direction. Ficus, go ahead.
Ficus is going to stare kind of confused at this creature, and then she's gonna lean in and peek down this hallway a little bit, so that way she can Misty Step.
Okay.
And she saw the person look to their left.
Yes.
So she's gonna go, not even, actually, can she? So she can sneak in and share the space with them while she's moving, correct? Because of her halfling nonsense.
Sure.
I can move through the space of any creature a size larger than me. So never mind. She's going to do that.
Okay.
She's going to boop, boop. And she's going to come right here.
Sure.
And she's going to be like, you know, 2 can play at that game. And she is going to cast Thunder Wave in Retribution.
Okay.
And
sounds good.
Hopefully if there's people down the hallway, they also get hit by it.
I'm guessing I'll need to make another Constitution save.
Yeah.
Yep, you're gonna have to make a Constitution save for that Thunder Wave, and so the forest folk gets a natural 20 on their Constitution save.
Boo! Mine's still stronger than theirs.
So the
Of
energy
course, honey.
washes over them, and then Uther, what'd you get?
I got
Oh,
a
yeah, you're
20,
fine.
but he does go Fig.
Forest folk stumbles but doesn't fall backward. I'm gonna Monagar.
And then Ficus will bonus action disengage.
Okay. Do you still have some movement left?
Ficus will back up 1 square.
Sure.
But not too far, just kind of trying to block this hallway.
Leaf, go ahead.
Okay, so there. Do I know there's a combatant like right in the doorway?
You definitely, from going up there, yes, you saw the stick come down and the fighting going on, so I'm fine with that.
So
we gave you a ton of access to them, like super easy to shoot with an arrow, through a doorway, through
Yeah,
Uther.
exactly. I think what I'm actually going to do is move back here to get a better angle, essentially just past Uther.
Sure.
Because then it's more like I have at least some kind of line of sight here. So I'm going to use the +2 for my first shot.
Sounds good.
And
they're going to have 3/4 cover from.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so here we go. +2, so that'll be a net additional -3. I'm not going to do sharpshooter just because I will use a bonus action to mark it as my Slayer's Prey.
Sure.
Okay. So movement, bonus action. Hua! Oh, that's definitely going to hit. That's a 25 to hit.
It absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
So the first one is... Ooh, nice! That's 28 damage for the first hit.
28 damage. So
Unless
this
they're
arrow
undead,
of light...
But I doubt it.
They're not undead. The arrow of light comes flying through and snakes through the side of its head, and it drops into a heap. Dead.
Okay. So then, he had his second arrow drawn with this. Again, it's just this like thin line of blue light and blue-white light, and so he just like sees that the whatever it was creature fell with that first arrow. So he kind of like pauses, and then he's gonna run past Uther with the rest of his movement. Because I've only moved like 10 feet, I think.
Okay.
See,
go ahead.
Yeah. So 10, 15. Let's see. 20. Oh no, I don't have enough. So I'll run back right next to Uther.
Okay, sounds good. Irina is going to draw her sword and come up behind Leaf to follow along. She has the stronger stance than what Irina herself usually has.
Leaf will call over the railing. Bright, come follow us as quickly as you can.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Before Bright can respond, you hear movement from the barrel next to you.
Oh dear.
And out of a crack in the side of this barrel comes swarming twig blight. There's probably a dozen of them in this mass that swarm out of it, crawling all over each other. The size of like a hyacinth bush. They're really good sized. And they are just going to immediately crawl all over Bright, filling the entire space. They're crawling all over your body. They are all up in your business in every...
Nuts a buck, nuts a buck!
And they are going to start clawing at you.
You're fine.
Does a 17 hit you?
That's a good question. Yeah, my AC is 14.
Okay, so you take 11 piercing damage as they start clawing at you.
Okay. Ow, 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 ow.
Go, and there we go. Oh! Somebody back. And as those are swarming all over you, 2 other swarms pile out of this. One of them goes straight to Sol and starts swarming him. So Sol, you also, a 12 is not going to hit you at all. And then this other swarm is going to... it will head up the stairs. So if you want to swing at it on its way by, feel free, Sol.
All right. Where's the swing button? There it is.
14. 14 is just enough to connect with them.
That was 9.
For 9. So as they start fleeing away, your hammer falls and or swings in an arc and just scatters half of them almost across the room. The rest are nonplussed, but keep heading the rest of the way up the stairs there. Bright, it is your turn.
Mm-hmm.
And you are currently in the same space as one of these swarms, so I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
That landed on my watch. Okay. That landed flat. 17.
17 is enough, so you only take half damage, so you take 4 damage from these twig blights covering your body.
Ah.
And it's your turn.
Cool. I don't have anyone to protect me, so I guess I'm gonna protect me. And I'm gonna cast Sanctuary on myself.
Okay.
And just kind of, first of all, take the book and just smack the things that are on me off.
Okay.
Just like whacking a bug. And then just shove it into my bag as quickly as I can and pull the little mirror out of the trinket out of my hair and just like flash fire off it all around me so that I have a little barrier of protection. And then I'm running. I'm definitely running. I want to use my action to disengage because Sanctuary was a bonus action.
Right.
So action to disengage so they don't all get attacks of opportunity on me as I just get out. So 5, 10, 15. Oh no! I just saw the other swarm. Okay.
All good?
No. What is the makeup of this house? Is it built of wood or of stone?
Stone with a lot of wood in it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Y'all, I've been hanging out with Noir too much, cause
Let the chaos reign.
well, I can't right now. So
I think you're out of action.
I'm out of actions. I want to finish my movement. I'm gonna round the corner and see that there's just another swarm, and I'm just gonna back up. So 20, and I'm just gonna goad them into the stoniest corner that I can. Is this?
Yeah, sounds good.
Hang on, I need to move. There looks to maybe be wood things on the wall. I don't know.
You're fine. I mean,
We're gonna try.
limited chance of burning the place down right there. Exactly.
Perfect. I'll be
So,
here,
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
and I'm gonna yell at the twig blights.
I thought they moved past me.
No, they're occupying the same space as you, and the other group.
Oh,
went past you.
great! Soul's
14.
right there.
14 passes. You only take half damage, so that's 5 piercing as they swarm all over your body.
I have a dog in here somewhere.
Yeah, he's on the other
It's
side.
over there.
Okay, cool. He's gonna be around to help Soul.
Okay. Sol, your turn.
All right. Let me see. Sol is going to move to protect the little one.
Okay, as you move, they are going to attack you.
That's fine.
You abandoned your robot son?
I did for
Us.
Robot Mom.
7 misses.
7 misses terribly.
Wait, I'm robot mom now?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Okay.
Yeah. I am going to cast Shield of Faith on Nif.
Okay.
Bright. I apologize. I think that is a actual standard. Yeah.
What's Shield of Faith? I already have Sanctuary, so
You need to
I
use
don't-
this. And can I just take a ready to action to hit the first swarm that comes at us, or is there one within reach?
You used an action to cast your spell, so no.
No, it's a bonus.
Okay, then yeah, you can ready your action to attack the first one that approaches. Uther, your turn.
All right, so do I hear any more of the wood folk in this room?
You can't see any wood folk in this room.
But we did see him talk to someone.
You saw him talk to somebody to the left. You would have reason to believe there is something to the left.
I am currently to the right, but I am to the left.
But
the other way.
I also heard what's going on downstairs, and I see one of these things coming up, right?
Yeah, and you can actually, looking down, you can see another group of them here, and you can see Sol and Bright in the corner over here.
Oh, so I could just jump down?
You could.
You want to
drop a whole
Miss again? I mean, at least, like...
You would have to travel
Child drive,
25
at
feet
least.
to land on them, though.
I would have to what?
25 feet. Like
25 feet to land on them.
Do it. Do it, bro.
this man has jumped rooftop to rooftop like an anime character.
Yeah, I was just about to be like,
Yeah.
let me
Do
take a
it.
look at my athletics. I'm pretty sure I can do this.
WWE Uther is back, y'all.
Oh yeah, I can do this easy.
From the upper ropes.
Off the top rope.
I would like to jump off and jump quite literally in the swarm that's attacking Bright and Sol.
Okay, so there's a swarm at the bottom of the stairs, 25 feet away and 15 feet down.
Yeah, I can make that jump.
Okay, go ahead and roll an athletics check. So I was thinking it would take an 18, even with the height and everything. So I will have you land on them, but you're going to take some damage for it.
It's never
Get-
stopped him before.
It's not.
Yeah.
So you launch yourself off the railing. You actually hear the railing break beneath your feet behind you as the raging barbarian launches himself across the room. You barely clear the dog robot soul and scatter face first boom, into the rocks, into the middle of all of these things.
I'm so proud of you.
But you're gonna take
Oh, go ahead.
you're gonna take 2d10 for the massive leap and fall,
Okay.
and then the damage from landing on them, which is 2d6.
Okay, so that's 8.
And
Baby Sol gives you a
7.
thumbs up.
So that's 4. So a total
Okay.
of 12.
Did that kill the swarm?
And then you're going to deal that same amount of damage to them, which is enough to kill it. Yes. So yeah, you go flying off the top of this, land on a swarm, and land on it to scatter and break enough of them to clear the swarm. The last couple will just like limp away a little bit before they collapse.
I'm just gonna get up and look over at Sol and Bright and just go, Are you both okay?
And I'm just gonna-
Totally.
See, you didn't need sadness to do that, did you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, he's gonna go back up the stairs.
You're
your
prone
move,
on the
man.
ground and done. So Uther's
Okay.
prone at the bottom of the stairs and a bunch of broken sticks and done. Back on the top row, Ficus, you are going to see another one of these druids turn the corner, and it turns it rather slowly and starts creeping your way. Leaf, you can see the figure cross through the entryway as it moves down next to Ficus. It's like whispering to you in Druidic.
Whispering to who?
Ficus.
Big.
I'll whisper back in Sylvan. Oh, hey, how's it going?
They have you looking at them. Their skin looks different. It looks like it's wood, covered in wood of some kind. And
I
they are
think you
gonna
look really cool and neat.
they are gonna crack you over the head with their quarterstaff. A 14 to hit
Less cool and neat.
Yes, that hits.
for 10 damage.
For 5 damage, thank you.
You know how to rogue. You're so cool.
I'm learning! Took a few
That's
wallops over the head
right.
to remember I can uncanny dodge things.
And they just keep saying over and over, Gimhadranin. Gimhadranin.
All right, I'm not a big fan of you taunting me.
And then the door across from Leaf opens up, and another one comes out onto the catwalk above you all. And casts a spell down below.
Oh.
Where is there's my free shape. It is going to fill the entirety of this area in entangling vines. So Uther, prone on the ground, are covered in entangling vines, and then Sol and Bright, you are adjacent to the blind. They're the vines themselves. I'm actually gonna do that so it's even clearer. All right. That is their turn, and Ficus, you're up.
That was not nice. And Ficus is going to reach out with her hands and cast Burning Hands.
Okay.
Somebody had to introduce arson to this scenario.
So that's 5 points of fire damage, and Ficus is just like leaning into this person, casting Burning Hands, and then she will slowly, she'll bonus action disengage and back up a step, but with the burning flames still going.
The fire starts licking across them, and they just smile at it and start trying to pat at the few flames that caught glaring your way. Leaf, you're up.
Yes, sir. Finally. So yeah, Leaf is just kind of like frantically like looking around and all this madness that just happened, but definitely thinks this person across the way on the other stairs is the highest threat. So we'll turn, bonus action, make them his Slayer's prey, and then unleash 2 attacks.
Now that you get a good look at them, you see that they are holding a black twisted staff in one hand.
Did we already find the big boss?
This might be their leader. And the first flies. Oh, that's right. That's 17 to hit.
17 will hit, yes.
Awesome. So that's 26 damage for the first.
Sure, that is 26 damage. The arrow catches it, and they stumble and hit their back against the wall and just glare your way.
And again, 25 to hit, so 26
hits.
Damage again.
The second shot catches them through the side of their neck, and they just collapse, and the staff drops.
Help!
I wonder... I hear Ficus like, Ficus! I'll run in here. And I see this other one and I just say, what have you done to Ficus? And that's the end of my turn.
Just like blood pouring down my face.
Irina will like sigh agitated for a moment, turn around, walk back over to this one, take out her sword and almost certainly eviscerate it, but we'll see. So she will pull out her rapier, attack. 14 will hit for 10 damage. Or not 10, sorry, I had that on. For 6 damage. So almost all the rest of them start to break and shatter as her rapier swings across them. She's using it more as a bludgeon than piercing damage. She attacks again, also hits, and 6 is exactly enough to finish killing it. And she kills the last of the twig blights upstairs.
Nice.
There's still a swarm downstairs that is invisible underneath that. That's funny.
I thought we got rid of the swarm downstairs.
There were 3 swarms downstairs.
Nope. One just broke into my little secret nook reading room.
This one is unbothered by what's on the ground, and it is going to come straight to Sol because he was there. These things will just run straight at you, Sol. You can make your attack as you have set for
Who
ready
cast
to
the
action.
thing on the ground?
The one that's above, so it's
The one
now
that I
gone,
just
is
killed.
all these vines wither and die just as quickly as they appear. They die.
Haha! I was right.
20 will definitely hit.
Thanks.
You swing your hammer as these things come swarming towards you for 13 damage. You wipe out half of them. Or not 13, 7 damage. You take out a chunk of them in one attack. They swarm all over you. Don't do anything about it. And it only takes a few more moments to finish these things off. And it goes quiet.
Okay.
The winery is suddenly silent until you hear a ting, ting, ting.
Wait, there's still the one in between Ficus and Leaf, right?
Oh, I forgot that
Yeah,
one.
we've
I'm
still
sorry.
got one.
Sorry, yeah. I forgot the
Oh.
one upstairs. When you one-shotted
that.
the other one, I forgot about that one.
Look, Ficus is doing her best.
You are
She hasn't
doing
got no
awesome.
fancy arrows.
Ficus
Are
is
doing a great job.
fantastic.
You have 2 magic
Ficus
knives.
will just like run up. Yeah, she'll just go up and stab if given the opportunity.
Yeah,
Mm.
go ahead and stab, because unless
Hell
you miss
yeah.
this thing...
Well, let's. Okay, way to
Don't
put that
speak
out
too
there.
soon. Thanks.
You have advantage.
Okay, I have advantage. Let me do that rapier
Yeah.
one again. Do.
Okay.
And then I'll do this one again, just in case.
Okay, so your dagger hits.
Yep. The rapier
Oh.
was 14. I don't know
Yep,
if
that's not enough.
Okay.
So you deal 14 damage to it, and it's almost dead.
I stab again with the dagger.
Go ahead.
This is just like so many stabs. And again. And by again, I mean
Yep.
because oh my god, I'm over this. Really? 1 hit out of 6 stabs? Okay.
For
Leaf.
narrative purposes and the fact that it's after 11:30, there's no reason this thing can't take any of you out by itself. So
Yeah.
it's going to die narratively in disappointment of you trying to stab it. It dodges a few times, and then Leaf puts an arrow in the back of its head.
That feels right.
Unless you want to keep it alive for any reason.
Do we want to keep it alive? We can't talk to it, so
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
seem
a
like they can.
wood
Well, we
folk,
didn't try
right?
speaking to it in common. I don't know.
I tried Sylvan, which is like the next closest to Druidic, so I don't know. Ficus stabbed it to death.
Okay,
Yep.
that's fine.
If
you
we
kill-
one-shotted the real smart one with the black staff, then like this plebeian can also go, I guess.
And there is a ting ting, almost a metallic sound as something falls down the stairs next to the one on the other side. And
Writing
that
it down.
is where we're gonna have to pause for the evening.
Yay!
So thank you for staying a little bit later than usual for this part of it, but don't go too far. We are going to spend just a couple minutes, not very long, with any comments, questions, or concerns, conundrums, or qualms that you want to ask about the game itself, anything that we here in the session want to talk about, and just kind of go from there. So we'll hang around for probably like 5 or 10 more minutes. If you have any questions you want to ask in chat, feel free. Otherwise, we will talk about amongst ourselves about how it went, what happened, and where we plan on going next. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question for Noir. After I cast Sanctuary on you, why did you make a dice check?
Because he forgot.
No reason. I needed to see what Uther was gonna do.
Okay.
Pure chaos.
I told you I leave
Sometime-
everything to the die.
Sometimes I roll dice just to make you worry. Okay.
Yeah, it's no big deal. MBD.
Is that the DM in you coming out? DM rolling dice behind the what do you call it? DM
If I have a
screen?
hard time deciding
I'm not
which way
doing
a
anything.
character would go, I'll literally just go even or odd in my head and roll it.
Right on.
That makes sense. So what was the other option that you didn't roll? Can you tell me that?
He was going to continue pressing forward.
Oh, okay. But we did continue pressing forward. Oh, well.
No,
Oh,
we
okay.
went back to rally up with everybody else.
Okay.
He was just going to keep going.
He's gonna wade into
Okay.
the sticks.
Okay. Good deal. I mean, I was supporting you for wading into the sticks, but I like that you went the good way.
Was the steadily increasing damage sufficient evidence that it was going to get worse instead of better?
Oh, why would that be the case?
Just
Nah.
wondered.
He didn't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just wanted to check.
It's a little freeing playing a character that has absolutely no fear of death. Like all my other characters are like, I gotta stay alive. This was just like, fuck it.
Whatever
go.
happens, happens.
So caster characters are woefully underprepared for the massive amount of damage that a couple of you can put out. So I'm going to put that out there.
Sorry.
So, no, that's fine.
Not sorry.
It happens. No reason to be sorry. I should know better, but
I mean, Leaf landed like some just incredible, like amazing blows. And I was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do that much on a good day.
The
I was,
damage
like,
he did
zoning-
was pretty spectacular, and even I was a little surprised. I mean, what
I
let
was
me
just
check the
zoning out
rolls.
doing notes and stuff, and I like kept like tuning back in for like, oh, that one's down already? Oh, that one's down already? What? And just like, okay, y'all are taking care of business.
Oh no, I think I made a mistake.
What'd you do?
You didn't add enough damage.
I think I was including the. Oh no. I was including the 10 from sharpshooter when I shouldn't have.
all right, everybody.
did
How do
it-
we deal with cheating
All
at
right,
this table?
TPK.
I did an
We
extra
accept it.
20
We
damage.
sacrifice our characters.
Surrender your badge and your gun.
I'm sorry.
And your new magic
Huh?
bow. Hand it over. It's been confiscated. You weren't using
I
it well.
suck.
No, you
We'll
don't.
just everybody makes mistakes.
Mhm.
I finally realized that me continuing to make Noir hit things to grapple it is left over from all the old editions of Dungeons and Dragons that I've played.
Yeah,
Because
I
you don't
have-
hit
don't-
anything to grab it. You
Yeah, I just
you,
do it.
you just do it. That
Yep.
fifth edition
Strength for
just lets you
strength. Yep.
do it.
Yeah,
It's strength for
I've
strength,
known that,
go.
and it bugged
And I'm
me
like,
a little bit, but I'm just
what?
like, okay, I'll go with it.
because I completely the grapple rules that I had to deal with over the years
Are dumb.
Are
3.5 was dumb.
Yeah.
They had an
funny
entire
thing is-
prestige class
3.5
about grappling.
Was,
And it was
dumb for
dumb.
like anyone
Well,
that
hold on,
outside
hold
of a
on, time
caster.
out.
Outside of like, it was super cool for casters, but as someone who played a barbarian for so long in 3.5, I was like, I can do two things, and everything else is terrible.
I'm so afraid of all of this rage I'm suddenly seeing come out of everyone right now.
But yeah, grappling in 5th edition is just
It has no rules. It's weird in a good way.
it's just I hope you can beat me in an athletics check. Cause if not, you going for a ride.
Man. No, so sorry about that. It has been almost a year's worth of me making you do extra stuff for grappling, but I think it only mattered a single time in all that. So I guess in the long haul, it
Well, I
didn't
mean, now
matter.
that we know,
yeah, now
there
I have
might-
to remember.
there might be a return of WWE Uther.
Yeah.
Mainly because Uther can't use the sword that he loves. Grief is a finesse weapon. He can't he can, but it doesn't gain any benefits from his rage.
You
Man,
can't.
what a shame.
Wow.
Too bad.
I guess it is finesse, isn't it? I didn't think of that when I just kept it a scimitar because that's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm calling that sword everything but grief. Sadness, angst.
It's
Angst. That's
honestly
his new
very
name now, it's
cathartic
angst.
for him though. Like it's almost become a safety blanket for him.
This
Sleep
is
with
my
your
emotional
screen
support sword that's maybe cursed.
Oh, it is cursed. It's
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it might be.
Might be.
Well, so
Screaming for a 10-foot radius, it's fine.
the only cursed thing about it is that it hits you too if you use it. And because it's psychic damage, it gets past all of your
Mhm.
Resistances.
Resistances.
Yep. He's completely
Part is
fine
the
with it.
magic is totally on brand for you.
This
Just
is very on.
Masochism.
of just sad people.
Just I mean, to him, it's expressing what he's feeling in a way that he can't.
So I have
And
two
now-
questions for
And now he gets
GM.
to hurt
sorry.
people with it. Oh, no,
Huh?
it's cool.
Actually, a question and a comment. So
Yeah.
that was such a horrible mistake. I'm so sorry, but
Oh, don't worry about it.
Would 20 damage have made a big difference? I'm thinking it
Yes,
might have for
absolutely.
the leader. Yeah, dang it.
Yeah.
For both of them?
Yeah. It's all right. Don't worry about it. There's an entire room you guys haven't been in, so I'll just have to fill it with something bigger. So,
Make it hurt. I'm
Cool.
sorry.
You say
But
it was
I
like,
do-
Someone say make it hurt.
That was
Somebody
me.
just
No.
you said it was like
Yeah.
15 minutes. We'll do it back.
But so the comment I wanted to make is that I am really I'm really enjoying. I don't think Leaf is enjoying it, but I as a player am really enjoying the dreams that you've the like little dream sequences that you've done for us a couple times. That to me that's a really I get into that. So bravo. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you. I wanted to kind of highlight the return back to the wilds of Barovia, and more and more is going to, reflect back on your guys' exact actions. If you're not doing timetables on your end of things, I am. So there's a lot of parallels between what's going on in different places in Barovia and when that happens and when all of you showed up.
Yeah. In my brain, as a player above the table, I'm like, oh, we're getting close to when like Ficus might need to warn somebody. Because like
Hey,
we
in,
just
like,
lost a whole
20
day. Like in this
in like
session.
24 hours, I'm just gonna pass out. Just it's fine.
It's fine.
Like I feel like that's how it's gonna happen. Like you're gonna
Could
be
be
chill
dead.
about it. I'm so afraid for this.
We'll find out. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, so
It's
it'll be fun.
fine.
We'll all find out together.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And you haven't taken anything extra yet, so you just have the extra and the venom from the fight
Yeah, you got.
yesterday. So
I can math. Hang on. 22 points of poison damage. It's fine. You can take that.
It's fine.
This
and
is
then whatever
fine.
the venom does.
And if we somehow magically level up in the next day, like I'll have even more hit points.
We should do
So-
that.
We're not going to level up this time,
No.
but you have acquired a MacGuffin. So, and the promise was that there were levels for MacGuffins from here on out.
Yeah, so what the
Remember-
fuck?
So,
Well, we let
Yeah,
it.
quick back
well,
We let it tingle
a
all the way
member,
down
a
to
member
the
of the party played with the numbers and fate just a little much this time around.
Who was that? Who did that?
Who's that? Who's
This is
that?
the
He
make
doesn't
it
get a
hurt.
level.
This is the make it hurt.
We could have been level 7.
So,
I would have
We-
not. I would have figured we wouldn't get the level until we cleared this place out for
Yeah,
the family.
That's how
I,
It was
I
a
need
clear
that
shot.
level.
and is
so
there is
bad.
there not a ruby or not? Sorry, a gem that we need? That
yeah,
was
we still need to acquire the gem with the
find where
soul in
that
it.
was. Okay.
yep.
I've never seen a party argue against getting the level. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
There's too many DMs and GMs at this table. It's really broken. We're like, but the story, but the story.
I'm this close to being able to turn shit.
Yeah. I don't. What do I get?
Once that works on twigs, it's gonna have to wait a day.
It's gonna have to
oh.
wait 2 hours for us to search this house.
My
Yeah.
turning is different than yours.
Mhm.
Oh,
And Purple, thanks for that comment. The nightmares are something I put quite a bit of thought into, based on what's been happening and how I expect everyone to react.
Yo, I need to get to level 7 too.
why?
On
I can add my intelligence modifier to y'all's saving throws.
There you
What?
go.
Y'all gonna need that.
So far, we have needed that a lot.
I've been okay. I've been brushing off the little twig creatures. I'm good.
Don't we get? Or does Solaire not have an aura? Do we not get like auras
It's
from
next
Solaire?
probably.
Next level, he gets orders.
Okay.
Probably.
So again, We need that level.
Yeah.
But the
There's
story.
another power jump after this level just for your party and where all your levels are in different ways, especially with Uther multi-classing. It delayed when everyone got a big power bump, so we'll see. I'll have to think more about what I put in that next room. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
I was gonna say that for a guy who doesn't sleep, making me see visions of the woman I murdered was a awesome choice, and I really appreciated that. I didn't feel left out because I didn't want any nightmares, but Don being haunted by the memory of the woman I murdered. So,
well, and then here's something in my thoughts for it. I wanted in a way, not that Solaire is inhuman in any way, but you play him as such kind of a naive and learning character that I kind of wanted to start teaching Solaire about being human, about being sentient.
mhm.
And those,
Aw.
fleeting regrets are something that, maybe I'm pessimistic, but I tie fleeting regret to sentience in a lot of ways.
Ouch.
Because I mean, if you step on a dog's tail, you feel terrible about it for days and you apologize to the poor puppers whose tail you stepped on. But when your dog, gets upset and nips at you while they're doing their food, they don't think about it ever again. So there's something about regret and all of that that's tied to sentience in a lot of ways. So. Well, hey, we are much later than usual. Any last comments from the players? Chat, anybody else before we sign off for the night?
I'm sorry I messed up the damage.
Don't
Great.
worry
Hey,
about it.
It's in the past. We're gonna
I
get over
know.
it. So
All
get
right.
over it.
I won't mention it again.
We don't hate you. It's fine.
You'll
Next
beat
time,
yourself up more than we'll beat you up over that.
Exactly.
Fair.
So
Oh,
just
yeah.
let it go.
See how many shambling mounds I can
I
fit
mean,
into this.
if anything, that would have just like prolonged all of this another
It's
20,
true.
25 minutes, and we would have been sitting here at midnight.
Yep.
Fair.
So, with nothing else, that is us for this evening. We have been so glad that you joined us, chat. Thank you so much. We will be back in 2 weeks as we finish up the Wizards of Wine, collect some MacGuffins, and see what happens when they have a book of knowledge. So, until we meet again, be good.